Assalamualaikum, good morning and selamat hari Malaysia. Thank you to each and every one of you for being with us today. Actually, this is the very first round of Roundtable organized by the Joli Rogue and Shyan Venture. The topics today will be based on reImagine Malaysia, which is in conjunction with Hari Malaysia, 16 September. So before I start, I would like to tell what is the format of today's talk. Basically, each speaker will get 15 minutes to talk about their topics, and another 15 minutes we will open to the floor for audience to ask questions with the speakers. You may put your question in the chat, and I, as a chairperson, will curate it. Okay, and then at the same time, I would also encourage all audience to share what strikes you during the speaker's presentation. You can share that in the chat so that everybody, from the audience will know. Can have the same feeling of what strikes you. So, okay, basically, the group of speakers today and the organizer today, actually, we are not a good speaker. This is our first time organizing an online event. So basically all is like malu-malu kucing. But then sempena for Hari Malaysia, we decided just to share our thoughts and have some fun. All right, before we start, I would like to introduce what is Joli Rogue and KSV as the organizer of today's event. So Joli Rogue, you can see here, Joli Rogue, the logo is, the skull and bone. So basically, we are the aspirational pirates. Pirates don't just break the rules, they rewrote them. They don't just reject society, they reinvented it. Pirates don't just challenge the status quo, they challenge things. And pirates face self-interest establishment, a broken system, industrial scale disruption, and uncertain future. So based on the aspiration of pirate codes, the Joli Rogue is a group of people who are inspired to carry out rebellious acts of positive change as a result to make the world a better place. Joli Rogue believe that capital is a weapon that can spearhead a massive impact, a massive positive impact. So basically, this is what Joli Rogue is. And Skye and Shyan Ventures is a multi-family office that specializes in creating opportunities for businesses to scale and create impact. Skye and Shyan Ventures are the namesake of the co-founders of Khairul and Dr. Wong, Shyan. So basically, Mr. Khairil founded KSV with an aspiration to create one of the best investment companies that catalyze positive impact beyond our present generation. He is a proponent of the infinite theory, and he believed that each moment presents a new beginning with great possibilities. While Dr. Wong, Shyan, our guru, mentor, teacher, and Sifu, he is specialized in corporate restructuring, corporate turnaround, revenue streams, and cash flow management, mergers and acquisition. So both of them are the people behind KSV. And today I would like to thank both of you, both of them for making all this happening. So let's start the event. So why reImagine Malaysia? reImagine Malaysia is a topic which we decided to talk about today is because we think that Malaysia right now is not on the right track. In 2019, MA Research, which is an independent think tank research in Malaysia, conducted a survey on National Worry Index. They took response about 2,000 respondents, and the results showed that Malaysia scoring a maximum worry index of 0.77 on a scale of 0 to 1, which is very high. But From that report, I would like to highlight two interesting results. 50% of nations are unsure if the country future is on the right track, while 44% of nations say no difference when asked about better future. So today, this session, we would like to share our ideas on reImagine Malaysia. Our first speaker today, Mr. Faidz Redza. He has 20 years of experience in marketing in multiple industries, such as hospitality services, filming industries, construction, green tech, and also non-profit organization. He is also currently the Secretary General of Shyan Antlers Football Club, and he is very passionate with his football club. So Redza is the CEO of Hikayat Empiria, which is an investment company with the aspiration of unlocking Malaysia value. Some of Hikayat's projects, which are worth to mention, currently Redza is doing Project Wong, which is an asset transformation project for chain resorts hotel. Then he also involved in Black Isle project, which is a local economic proposition in Penang with the objective of maximizing positive impact to local communities. Then I think the other one which I like to mention is Muhibah Cafe, which is my favorite, which this project is promoting local cuisine cafe together with Malaysian food and culture. Anyway, the topic that he chooses today, he chooses to speak today is something that is very close to what he is doing in at Hikayat, Malaysia, a worthy fight. So let's welcome Mr. Redza to give his talk.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson, Faidz Hamzah, for the brief introductory about me, about myself. Morning to everyone. My name is Faidz Redza. I'm 40 years old, living in Shah Alam, born and bred in Johor Bahru. Like the chairperson said just now, I have like 20 years of working experience in various holding multiple portfolios. Mainly my portfolio will involve marketing, so that is my strong point lah, inshallah. Let me start. Okay, and I share the screen here. Okay, before I start, basically, Hikayat is Hikayat Empiria Berhad is an asset transformation company, led by me. With our aspiration is to unlock nation value. Okay, assuming that you are now, assuming that now you have a gold mine, kita ada satu lombok emas, okay, dan kita dah sebenarnya dah duduk lama kat atas peti emas ni, we are sitting on top of this gold mine for so long, alright. What would we do? What would we do with this gold? We just let it be like that, do nothing, we invest it, we buy property with it. What do we do? Basically, the gold mine that we are sitting on is assets, products, talents, cultures, companies, you name it. We are sitting on top of all of that. we believe that most of these assets, product, talents, cultures, and companies is basically underutilized and still not diteroka hingga ke full potential untuk dijadikan sesuatu yang worth it untuk ekonomi. Kita pernah dijajah oleh 4 kuasa besar dunia. Okey, suatu ketika dulu. Portugis, Belanda, Dutch, British dan Jepun untuk 2 tahun for the first 2 years. All these superpowers, colonial masters has invaded us for the past 500 years. Dan semua hasil bumi kita dah diambil dan ditarah. Dan kita rasa macam adakah itu sesuatu yang harus kita biarkan? Kita nak ke orang lain datang sekali lagi dan ambil lagi kita punya hasil bumi ni. Saya bagi contoh, even satu corporation yang besar dekat Malaysia, semua satu Malaysia tahu, Grab. Okay, Grab bukannya company Malaysia. Grab adalah satu syarikat luar yang bertapak di Malaysia, yang mengaut hasil keuntungan di negara kita. Kenapa sekarang? Sekarang adalah kerana kita dalam masa pandemik, okey, dan menuju ke arah penghabisan pandemik. Bukan kita menanggut di air keruh, tidak. Okey. Apabila negara kita mengalami pandemik, bukan negara kita saja, satu dunia mengalami pandemik, banyak kita lihat perusahaan-perusahaan mula ditutup, mula dikecilkan, perniagaan-perniagaan yang terbengkalai, projek-projek perumahan yang tak dapat diteruskan, projek-projek high value projek yang tak dapat diteruskan, pekerja-pekerja hilang pekerjaan, dan banyak lagi perkara-perkara yang menyebabkan domino effect yang berpanjangan, yang menyebabkan ke semua sektor dalam Malaysia ni terjejas. Kita datang ni adalah untuk membuat sesuatu untuk menyelamatkan negara kita sendiri. Kita tak boleh nak mengharapkan kepada orang luar untuk datang menyelamatkan kita. Kerana kita pernah dijajah sekali, kenapa kita nak dijajah sekali lagi? Kerana zaman dulu mungkin kita dijajah dengan peperangan. Okey, tapi zaman sekarang kita akan dijajah secara ekonomi. Apabila ekonomi kita dikawal dan dijajah oleh syarikat-syarikat daripada luar, apa akan jadi pada rakyat kita? Bagaimana hendak kita lakukan perkara ini? Okey. Pada masa sekarang, apa yang kita fikirkan dan kita cadangkan adalah untuk reImagine Malaysia melalui 3 cara. Okey, sahabat-sahabat saya sebentar lagi nanti akan mula menerangkan cara-cara ini. Okey. Antara 3 cara tersebut adalah melalui dan juga capital. Okey, sementara nanti sahabat saya daripada TJR, Joli Rogue, akan menunjukkan macam mana cara untuk kita merancang, untuk kita unleash the human potential of apa yang kita boleh lakukan untuk talent-talent yang mempunyai lambakan yang lebih di pasaran sekarang ni. Kerana kenapa lambakan talent ni terjadi? Closing of businesses and corporations menyebabkan talent-talent ni terbiar begitu sahaja. Okey, dan juga sahabat saya daripada Iceland akan menunjukkan cara untuk kita harness all these ideas to create an alternate future, dan juga daripada Skye Technology untuk macam mana nak tukarkan apa tu ideas dan apa tu apa tu idea dan apa saja kepada sesuatu yang boleh digunakan untuk memudah cara sesuatu pekerjaan, sesuatu projek, satu aset itu ke tahap yang lebih tinggi. Dan nanti apa tu sahabat saya daripada Aksara akan menceritakan cara bagaimana kita akan gunakan capital mechanics untuk create exponential economic growth, di mana dengan menggunakan cara capital mechanics ini kita dapat secara tak langsung membantu meningkatkan lagi ekonomi syarikat-syarikat yang telah terjejas ini. Seperti yang saya katakan tadi, kita di Hikayat ingin unlock the value of nation. Kita cuba cari how do you say kebolehmajuan assets yang ada di Malaysia ini, di mana aset itu tak semestinya tertakluk kepada bangunan dan juga perniagaan. Dia boleh jadi apa sahaja. Dia boleh jadi talent, dia boleh jadi capital, dia boleh jadi idea, dia boleh jadi anything that is under the sky. Ini adalah fasa 1 projek yang sedang dijalankan oleh Hikayat. Okey. reImagine back seperti yang telah disebut oleh chairperson tadi. Okey. Apa yang kita tahu tentang balik pulau? Kalau kita pergi ke Pulau Pinang, kebanyakannya akan tertumpu pada kawasan Georgetown. Okey, di mana di situlah segala pembangunan yang ada dan berlaku. Okey, dan banyak orang pelancong akan datang pun ke kawasan Georgetown saja. Tapi apabila disebutkan tentang balik pulau, pada mereka tidak ada apa yang ada di balik pulau tu selain daripada kampung dan mungkin tempat nelayan. Kalau kaki pancing mungkin akan suka, oh ni tempat mancing yang best. Okey, tapi sebenarnya apabila kita pergi ke balik pulau tu dan kita tengok sendiri, sebenarnya banyak tempat-tempat di balik pulau yang sangat menarik, yang kita boleh tukar dan kita reinvent balik tempat tu. Tak semestinya satu tempat itu untuk menjadi menarik perlukan satu investment yang tinggi dan projek yang berskala besar. Tidak. Kalau kita jalan sepanjang jalan di balik pulau tu, kita akan nampak macam seperti saya lihat gambar ni di pekan-pekan lama, kedai-kedai lama, dan juga tempat yang memang pandangan indah. Kita hanya perlu spruce up this place up. Spruce up dia dengan andai kata kita jumpa satu tempat makan yang kedai kampung yang agak rundown kita ubah dan jadikan dia satu kafe yang hipster. Saya pasti orang akan suka untuk datang. Dan bak kata generasi sekarang, tempat-tempat ini akan jadi instagramable. Yes. Untuk mereka. Okay. Ini adalah contoh fasa 1 projek kita lah, itu di Pulau Pinang, dekat balik pulau. Ini pula adalah ruang di Janda Baik, chain hotels yang kita nak develop. Okay. Hotel ni tak adalah besar, tapi dia mempunyai potensi untuk dikembangkan. Kerana apa? Zaman sekarang kita bukan perlukan satu tempat yang fancy untuk kita dapatkan satu ketenangan. Kita cuma kita perlukan tempat yang selesa, yang tidak terlalu jauh daripada kehidupan kita sekarang ni, dan mudah untuk pergi. Dan ada segala basic facilities yang perlu, dan yang paling penting ada internet connection. Inilah yang akan kami sedang buat di ruang, dan kami akan buat lagi dengan a few change other places. Ini adalah satu resort di Langkawi, juga dalam proses untuk diambil alih dan juga ditransform, di market semula. Kita akan tengok apa yang boleh kita lakukan di resort ini untuk memastikan dia kembali aktif, kerana kita tahu Pulau Langkawi jadi ada tarikan yang tersendiri untuk orang datang. Ini adalah projek Anjung Indah dalam perjalanan ke balik pulau. Ini antara tempat yang saya cakap, kalau kita transform dia daripada sekadar tempat ada untuk orang jual durian pada musim durian, dia boleh jadi pelbagai. Ini pula adalah projek di Pulau Asmara. Ia adalah satu pulau yang kosong, tidak berpenghuni di Penang, di mana kami bercadang untuk menjadikan dia seperti Rokba di Bali. Okey. Dan kami percaya benda ni boleh dilakukan, dan mengapa kita biarkan orang lain fikir nak buat benda tu kalau kita boleh lakukan benda ni sendiri. Ni untuk projek naik taraf rumah-rumah rehat, rumah-rumah persekutuan. Resort dia juga di Pulau Langkawi. Sekarang resort ni dah terbengkalai. Dia tak ada, walaupun kedudukannya sangat menarik di atas gunung, tapi tak ada siapa yang mengambil alih resort ni. Kita ada satu inspirasi yang sangat besar untuk Malaysia. Saya percaya Malaysia ni adalah satu tempat yang patut kita pertahankan dan harus kita pertahankan, kerana walaupun kita ingat Malaysia ni tak ada apa-apa, tapi orang luar sentiasa nampak Malaysia ni adalah sesuatu yang berharga. Kalau kita nak dibandingkan dengan negara-negara lain yang dekat sana, kita bebas kita terselamat daripada sebarang bencana alam. Politik kita walaupun huru-hara tapi tetap stabil nak dibandingkan dengan negara lain. Kita punya keselamatan masih lagi terjaga dibandingkan negara lain. So adakah berbaloi untuk kita pertahankan negara kita? Yes, berbaloi sangat pada saya lah. Berbaloi sangat untuk kita pertahankan negara kita. Siapa lagi yang nak memajukan negara kita kalau bukan kita? Tapi saya tak boleh nak buat seorang-seorang. I can't do this alone. I need the support and help of everyone that is here inside this webinar, and spread the word that I really need your help to memajukan Malaysia, untuk menjalankan aspirasi Hikayat Imperial Berhad untuk unlock nation value. We seek color neutral, culture neutral, and nationally neutral partners who believe in long-term capital growth with us. If you think you are good fit with us, well, do get in touch with me. Okay? Saya ingat saya akan akhiri saya punya talk pagi ini dengan satu sajak yang ditulis oleh Datuk Samad Said, tapak yang luhur, tajuk puisi itu. Bertapak atas batas yang luhur, bersumpah lidah sufi tersohor. Disedarkannya lara bangsa, wajah dirangsang tepis membentah. Awal lagi semangat bernyala, dihembus bara merdeka bangsa. Pagi ke malam berjuang tegap, di tengah rakyat gigih bersikap. Bersilat atas bumi yang subur, bisik bersikap kalbu sejujur. Menyala unggun zaman yang garang, membakar tekad cekal berjuang. Bersama bangkitlah bangsa ia, tegas terkukuh asas merdeka. Sekian daripada saya, Faidz Redza bin Mat Hafiz daripada Hikayat Imperial Berhad. Terima kasih. Selamat Hari Malaysia.
Thank you, Mr. Faidz. So, as you can see, Hikayat is doing an asset transformation with the objective of pushing Malaysian value, to basically they want to bring Malaysian value, Malaysian culture, Malaysian food to the international level. So that is what Hikayat trying to do. So I would like to open the floor for 15 minutes to ask question to Mr. Faidz Redza. Where is he? Wait. Faidz, are you there? You are mute.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any questions open for him? You can raise your hand and ask if you have any question regarding Malaysia worthy fight. Hello? Okay, this is a question from Khairul Azman. How about East Coast, Kelantan or Terengganu?
Yes, basically we understand the needs to go to those places. Tempat-tempat tu is unique by itself. Kita akan buat masa ni kita tengah concentrate dekat kawasan utara, dan selepas ni kita akan kita sebenarnya dah ada satu dekat Jerantut, Taman Negara Jerantut, tapi saya tak masukkan tadi dekat dalam slide. Kita menuju ke sana, Taman Negara Jerantut start, and then kita akan bawa lagi ke atas lah. Dan seperti kita tahu, memang tempat-tempat di pantai timur banyak tempat menarik yang boleh diteroka, dan juga kawasan-kawasan pantai timur sebenarnya banyak aset-aset yang boleh kita develop untuk jadikan satu penarikan untuk orang.
Sorry, I muted myself. How can people help Hikayat to reimagine Malaysia? Redza?
Okay. Basically, what can you do is, number one, if you have a worthy asset, you can come to us. If you have talent that you can that you can explore, you can also come to us. And if you have extra capital that you want to invest, or extra money that you want to invest, you can come to us also. We will make sure that your investment grows and goes big.
All right, next question from Muhammad bin Atan. Syarikat Tuan Berhad ada berapa shareholders and paid up capital? I think this one you can, since this is PNC, you can directly connect with Redza after the webinar. Dr. Wong questions, project criteria. Redza?
The project that we're looking into, the asset that we're looking into, we don't have any specific, or it must have special thing for us to be able to use the asset. The asset can be just a piece of land. It can be a piece of land that, because as you know, from a piece of land we can develop so many things in Malaysia. Okay, dekat Malaysia ni kita tanam tongkat menjadi pokok. So yes, it can be bare land, it can be no one's land, no problem. You give it to us, we'll make it into money.
Question from Beck Chu. Hikayat is a Berhad co that spearhead reImagine Malaysia. Is it political, socio-economic, or profit-making?
Like any other corporation, our aim, yes, is to make money. But at the same time, when we involve ourselves in business, it will create an ecosystem whereby it will organically generate income for everyone that is involved in the projects indirectly.
From L Chan, berapa minimum investment amount? Example balik pulau. Sorry, is that when Redza, maybe you want to answer, or?
No, I think if you are interested, you can contact me directly, I think.
Okay, from Muhammad Biatan, are there any government loan scheme or assistance such as tourism fund from SME Bank or Bank Penganan that you can capitalize on?
Which one? What's that?
Are there any government loan scheme or assistance such as tourism fund from SME Bank or Bank Penganan that you can capitalize on?
Okay, basically there is grants and loans that we can take up from SME banks and from the government, but as all of us know, the bureaucracy and the red tapes involved in that procedure. I would like not to digest more into that, because if I digest more into that, then it will become a whole different topic altogether of red tapes and bureaucracy. So we prefer private investors to come and join us in unlocking our Malaysian values.
Right. Next question from Dr. Wong. I think this is info. Then back to, then state what is Hikayat strength to be so sure you can make money out of whatever given to you.
Come again?
State what is Hikayat strength to be so sure you can make money out of whatever given to you.
Okay, number one, we have within Hikayat itself, our team is basically professional with combined years of experience with many multinational companies, and also people with background of handling project worth billions, and also with the abundance of talent that is available. I am very, very sure that whatever project that we embark in will succeed, can succeed.
Okay, I'll take one question from the floor. Ayani Ismail, he raises his hand. You want to ask a question?
Okay,
Yes,
just a quick one. I think in East Coast there's a company called under Petronas. There's a company called East Coast Development something. They are doing similar thing. However, they look as investment from outside. It's similar. So what is your take? Because at East Coast, it's like this. They have certain lands or tourism attraction, so they will invite external, international investors to come and invest in Malaysia. Because as you know, we don't have many investors within Malaysians to invest. That's the reason why you can see that a lot of attractive places are just abandoned. So actually there is a company, but their focus is on East Coast. So what is your take about that, Redza? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ahmad Yani. Okay, yes, I've heard of East Coast Development Corporation. Basically, East Coast Development Corporation is more or less the same like the Iskandar Region Development, whereby their main focus of development is making the East Coast area just like the Iskandar in JB, in Johor. So it is a development that is concentrated more in developing new build, how do you see it, high investment infrastructure, whereby our aim is just to help local entrepreneurs to evolve and to upscale their businesses. Like I said just now, if there's a warung by the roadside, we're not going to tear down the warung and make it into a fancy restaurant. No, we're just going to touch up it, make a few renovations, small renovation, small investment, but make it more hip, more Instagrammable for the young people to come. Yes, Mr. Yani. Mr. Chairperson, Mr. Yani.
Yes, Yani, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right. I think okay. Since we are already ending of the 50 minutes, so I just summarize the other questions. I think Redza, you have to connect directly with them.
Yes.
From Mr. Ras, the project's open to offshore investors. I'm Singaporean living and doing business in JB and KL, and I'm back investor. And then Bek Chu is asking, is there any project that has been embarked by Hikayat that is openly known and successful? And also, is Hikayat as an organization that deep pockets as stated what guys evaluate can succeed and make it succeed? All right. So, okay. Thank you, Mr. Redza. Now I'm moving to the next speaker, our second speaker. Our second speaker basically is our youngest team member. He is only 21 years old. Muhammad Khairul, or what we call him as Wawan. He runs the social media and media content for KSV and the Joli Rogue. Fresh from college, Wawan joined us with an aspiration to be a young capitalist that creates a positive impact on society. He is very active on TikTok. You can follow him, Wawan Sparrow, Jack Sparrow, where he talks about entrepreneurship and capital mechanism. Anyway, the topic that he chosen today to talk about is a sense of purpose, where he will discuss why it is important a nation needs a sense of purpose. Please bear with him as his Penang accent is quite strong. So let's welcome Khairul Redzuan for the talk.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faidz Hamzah, the chairperson. More people fail through lack of purpose than lack of talent. And I believe that purpose will unleash the potential of a human being. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khairul Shukri, and basically I am the curator for the Joli Rogue. Basically the Joli Rogue ni merupakan private club where the aspirational pirate that aspire to change the world and make the world a better place. At the same time, I also attach with Hikayat Imperial Berhad, which is I'm crafting an economic proposition for Back Isle di balik Pulau Penang. So, hari ini saya nak bercerita, saya nak bercakap tentang generasi saya. Saya nak bercerita tentang negara yang telah kita bina. Saya nak bercerita tentang purpose, tujuan. Tapi saya tak mau cerita tentang mencari arah tujuan kerana saya percaya ramai orang telah pun tahu untuk cari arah tujuan dan banyak sifu-sifu yang hebat telah mengajar untuk mencari arah tujuan yang sebenar. Tetapi hari ini saya ingin bercerita dan memberitahu bahawa mencari arah tujuan untuk diri sendiri sahaja tidak mencukupi. Kita perlu bangunkan sebuah negara yang mempunyai sense of purpose. We have to be a nation with a sense of purpose. And that is how I reimagine Malaysia. Bercakap tentang reimagine Malaysia, saya nak sentuh tentang wawasan 2020. Okay, saya budak muda. Baru ni saya scroll Twitter and I found a thread which is about wawasan 2020. Okay, thread tu cerita. Back in 1991, ada seorang budak perempuan ni. Dia pergi jumpa dengan Tun Mahathir. At that time, Tun Mahathir merupakan Prime Minister and dia pergi berjumpa dengan Tun Mahathir and dia tanya kepada Tun Mahathir, kenapa Tun pilih 2020 instead of 2021 ke, 2022 kan? So, Tun jawab dekat dia, Tun ni adalah bekas doktor and dalam kedoktoran, vision test ataupun peperiksaan mata, dia punya perfect vision ataupun final score dia adalah 20/20. Dan itu adalah perfect vision yang Tun Mahathir lihat kepada Malaysia. Tun Mahathir melihat wawasan 2020 adalah Malaysia merupakan negara yang perfect dalam semua segi. Dan jawapan Tun Mahathir itu sendiri memberi impak yang sangat besar kepada budak perempuan tu. Dan budak perempuan tu membawa semangat wawasan 2020 itu daripada dia kecil sehinggalah dia besar. Dan pada pendapat saya, perkara ini adalah amat hebat. This is a very good thing. I mean, perkara yang terlampau hebat kepada rakyat Malaysia ketika itu untuk ada sense of purpose untuk mencapai purpose yang utama, purpose yang paling besar iaitu wawasan 2020. Tapi malangnya saya tidak dapat merasakan semangat tersebut. Dan saya percaya generasi saya pun ramai yang tidak dapat merasakan the sense of purpose. So, it is our generational challenge untuk generasi saya sekarang ini to create a renewed sense of purpose. Kita perlu cari sense of purpose yang dulu Malaysia telah ada, wawasan 2020. We have to create a new one. So, I've been thinking to myself, kita ada great politicians. We have a big company with a very great resources. We have kita ada banyak orang-orang hebat yang mempunyai resources yang banyak to make this happen. And I assume that they will make this happen. But unfortunately, I've been waiting but there are no one yang start to make this happen. Tak ada siapa yang buat. Dan oleh sebab itu, saya nak buat. Okay, in order to get a nation with a sense of purpose, I have crafted 3 core principle, which is the big one, is to craft a big, meaningful projects. The number 2 is to give an equal opportunities for all. And number 3, to build the communities in our nation. We go for number 1 first. So big, meaningful projects. Saya cerita sikit tentang beberapa contoh-contoh cerita. And first kali adalah moonshots. Pernah dengar tak tentang moonshots ni? Okay, moonshots ni adalah inisiatif kerajaan United States pada ketika itu untuk menggerakkan hampir 300,000 orang untuk bekerja keras menggapai satu tujuan yang besar, iaitu untuk menghantar manusia ke bulan pada ketika itu. Tetapi semangat moonshots itu bukanlah pudar habis ketika mereka berjaya menghantar manusia ke bulan. Tapi semangat moonshot itu terus dikekalkan sehingga hari ini. Sebagai contoh, di Silicon Valley, tempat di mana lahirnya banyak company-company startup yang hebat, mereka akan namakan projek-projek mereka yang luar biasa, mungkin projek yang tak masuk akal bagi kefahaman manusia. Mereka akan namakan projek tersebut dengan nama Moonshots Project. Dan moonshot ni juga dia unleash their potential and the greatness of a human being untuk gapai satu tujuan yang besar. And after that is an Astro Boy. So saya percaya mesti ramai pernah tengok Astro Boy kan. So Astro Boy basically dia merupakan inisiatif dari kerajaan Jepun. Selepas Jepun hampir lumpuh apabila dibom di Nagasaki dan Hiroshima. So kerajaan Jepun craft Astro Boy sebagai gerakan teknologi kepada generasi ketika itu, untuk membuat generasi ketika itu minat kepada teknologi. Dan seperti apa yang kita boleh lihat sekarang, Jepun merupakan negara yang paling hebat dalam bidang teknologi. Dan untuk pengetahuan tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, teknologi hebat di Jepun sekarang ni diterajui oleh golongan-golongan ataupun generasi yang dulunya masuk kelab Astro Boy. So the last one yang paling dekat dengan kita sekarang adalah the Basic Nation Program. Kita boleh tengok macam mana seluruh dunia bergabung, bekerja keras, all the frontliners, sukarelawan bekerja keras demi menggapai satu purpose yang paling besar, iaitu untuk menyahkan COVID-19 lenyap dari muka bumi. And all these big meaningful projects, it gives, bukan sahaja memberi sense of purpose dalam diri orang-orang yang terlibat dengan projek tersebut, tapi it is a pride. Dia merupakan satu kebanggaan negara itu sendiri. Dan the biggest thing is it's helped to unite the nation become one. Dia satukan negara itu menjadi satu negara yang hebat. You might be thinking, how the heck I want to do this? Macam mana saya nak buat perkara ni? Mesti anda terbayang-bayang kan? But let me tell you one secret. The secret of life. Saya tak tahu. Tak ada siapa tahu. No one knows. But we just have to kickstart. Kita perlu jadi pemula. Kita yang generasi kita sekarang perlu mulakan benda ni, and I believe dan yakin bahawa the things will unfold by its own. Apa yang lagi yang kita tunggukan? Kita tak ada masa. Kita perlu make it happen as soon as possible. And kita perlu fix apa-apa yang telah silap dahulu. We fix the things and we just make this happen. Because I believe in order kita nak bagi dia jadi, kita measure progress bukanlah setakat okay kita buat dia and make it happen. We measure the progress by kita measure semua orang yang terlibat dengan projek tersebut have that sense of purpose in themselves. Mereka mempunyai semangat, mempunyai rasa bahawa mereka ini diperlukan, mereka ini berharga terhadap projek tersebut. And that sense of purpose will unleash the greatness in human being. Sense of purpose tersebut akan mengeluarkan segala kehebatan dalam diri seorang manusia tanpa kita sangka. And that is how I reimagine Malaysia. And the next one, core principle number 2 is to redefine equality. To redefine equality is to give an opportunity for all to pursue their purpose. Untuk memberi opportunity kepada semua orang, tak kira bangsa, tak kira siapa pun untuk pursue their purpose. Okay, as we can see nowadays the culture has been different. Sekarang culture kita lebih kepada entrepreneurial. Dulu mungkin kita lebih kepada career culture. Ibu-ibu bapa kita lebih kepada bekerja dan mengajak kita untuk bekerja. Tapi sekarang the culture has changed. Ada ramai usahawan di market sekarang banyak lebih tertumpu kepada keusahawanan berbanding pekerjaan. So this thing is very good. Culture entrepreneurial ni sendiri dia memberi kita membuat banyak progress. It creates a lot of progress. It creates a lot of progress to us untuk gapai impian kita. And as you can see, all these people, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Ma, Patrick Grove, diorang ni mempunyai ability untuk take lots of shot. Maksudnya mereka ada peluang untuk mereka sentiasa mencuba dan gagal tanpa any judgement. Without any judgement. They try and fail without any judgement. That is keuntungan mereka ada platform tu. So dekat Malaysia benda tu tak ada. Maybe we have to create a platform khususnya untuk anak muda untuk sentiasa mencuba. Kita galakkan, we encourage them to try. Even them fail, we give an encouragement. Don't without any judgement. Jangan condemn, jangan apa. Kita bagi support untuk mereka mencuba dan one day mereka akan berjaya. So how? We have to give a helping hand. Kita perlu membantu untuk memberi sokongan yang luas. Kerana it is not to measure the progress based on economic metrics such as GDP, profits, numbers. We have to make sure the progress, we have to measure the progress based on berapa ramai di kalangan kita ni yang mempunyai sense of purpose dalam diri mereka. Mempunyai tujuan, mempunyai rasa yang mereka ini berguna, yang mereka ini bermakna, meaningful for them. And cuba bayangkan if we give them this support, we give them this platform. Contoh saya bagi contoh, ada seorang anak setinggan ni, dia ada purpose, dia ada tujuan dia, tapi dia tak boleh dia tak ada ability untuk dia capai tujuan tersebut. Dan kita bantu dia untuk dia capai purpose dia. Cuba bayangkanlah satu anak setinggan mampu jadi billionaire. Satu anak setinggan, okay? Keseluruhan kawasan setinggan tu akan jadi senang, betul tak? Itu kalau satu. Cuba bayangkan kalau 10, cuba bayangkan kalau 100, cuba bayangkan kalau 1000 anak muda mampu capai tujuan besar mereka. It's a dream come true for them. Ini akan memberikan bukan sahaja mereka, bukan negara kita, and semua orang feels better, adalah lebih baik. Okay, and that is how I reimagine Malaysia. And the last one, the third one is to build a community in our nation. Okay, history speaks, sejarah bercakap bahawa kita manusia ni, kita lebih kuat, kita lebih hebat apabila kita dalam kelompok manusia yang ramai. Kita bukan Superman, kita nak pergi jalan seseorang. Kita kena ramai baru benda tu akan jadi, baru kita akan kuat. Okay, tapi dalam advantage-nya, kita bertuah sekarang ni. Kita bertuah kerana kita dapat akses kepada global network di hujung jari. Kita boleh buat, kita boleh komunikasi dengan orang luar daripada negara kita di hujung jari. We have the global network access. That's mean we can create a positive impact anywhere. Kita boleh create apa yang purpose yang kita nak buat ni, kita boleh spread dia ke seluruh dunia. But sebelum kita spread dia ke seluruh dunia, kita perlu make sure our home is best first. Kita perlu make sure negara kita best dulu. Kita perlu make sure negara kita mempunyai that sense of purpose, barulah kita rasa blessing tu untuk kita share that sense of purpose kepada negara-negara lain. Okey, saya bagi contoh. Kita perlu pastikan contoh rumah kita ada makanan dulu. Barulah kita berasa bangga ataupun happy ataupun blessing untuk membantu orang lain di luar yang tak ada makanan. Itu adalah contoh kerana kita perlu jaga our home first, and then kita dapat rahmat tu, and then we share the blessing. Kita kongsi rahmat tu, and kita akan rasa puas hati, and we become more happy. And change starts local with people like us. Perubahan, it is time for us to make a change. inilah masanya sekarang untuk kita membuat perubahan. Dan even global change, even global perubahan besar dunia pun it start small. So we have to start local. Kita ada community di sekeliling kita sekarang. Contohnya, sebab itu kita semua hidup dalam community. Even makcik-makcik mesti ada community makcik bawang, betul tak? And pakcik-pakcik mesti ada community geng surau, geng masjid. And anak-anak muda macam saya mesti ada community yang selalu pergi lepak, pergi pusat. And that is all our community in our daily life right now. Itu adalah community kita sekarang. Kita rasa bangga dengan community tersebut, betul tak? Kita membawa maksud yang kita ni a part of the community. Kita bangga dengan community itu. So we have to membuat perubahan dengan apa yang kita boleh control dulu. We start to change it locally. Dengan community kita start and change. And you might be thinking, can I really do this? Bolehkah saya buat benda ni? And my answer will be, together we can. Saya tak boleh buat seorang. Macam saya cakap tadi, kita bukan Superman. Kita kena buat sama-sama. And I'm sure kalau kita bekerjasama, confirm boleh jadi. Okay. If you ask me, tak payah lama dalam awal tahun lepas, kalau korang tanya saya kan, apa tujuan hidup saya? What is my purpose in my life? I will answer you, I will have no idea. Saya tak ada idea. Saya tak tahu apa purpose saya tak tahu apa tujuan saya. And if you say that saya akan bercakap hari ini dan share idea pasal reImagine Malaysia, pasal vision, pasal purpose, tujuan, and definitely I will say you crazy. Saya akan kata anda gila sebab saya tak percaya saya buat benda tu. I mean, who am I? Siapalah saya? I'm just a college cap yang blur, yang tak ada arah tujuan lagi dalam hidup pun, yang masih mencari tujuan hidup. And I assume that ramai lagi orang yang hebat akan buat benda ni. And unfortunately, like I said before, they did not. Mereka tak buat. Because of that, I want to do this. I did this. But at the moment yang saya rasa saya nak buat benda ni, alhamdulillah, saya bertuah kerana saya jumpa dengan sekumpulan manusia yang hebat bagi saya, yang terlampau hebat. Dan gila bagi definition orang-orang luar yang tidak mengenali mereka. So yang mana kenal mereka ni mungkin kenal, yang mana tak kenal akan menganggap mereka ni gila. It is the Joli Rogue lah. And mereka ni sanggup memberi saya a helping hand. They give me a helping hand and they make me part of their wolf pack. And they give me an opportunity to pursue my purpose. Mereka ni ambil saya dan beri saya peluang untuk saya pursue my purpose. Mereka beri kepercayaan untuk saya untuk buat meaningful projects, big meaningful projects, which is back eye. Because of that, alhamdulillah, I level up rapidly. Tapi I was thinking, kan best kalau ramai lagi golongan-golongan saya, anak-anak muda yang sebaya dengan saya, dapat peluang yang sama macam saya dapat. And because of that, saya mempunyai aspiration baharu to create a platform untuk semua anak muda bergabung untuk pursue dia punya purpose. Pursue their purpose, untuk make this happen. Khususnya untuk anak muda between 18 to 25 years old, untuk gapai tujuan mereka dalam hidup with a great support system or the mentorship. Kita akan beri peluang kepada anak-anak muda ini untuk sentiasa mencuba, termasuk dengan saya, anak muda, untuk sentiasa mencuba dan gagal without any judgement, dengan support yang non-stop. And this is the good news for untuk semua anak muda, and this thing might be kickstart by the next quarter, which is end of this year. And kalau siapa-siapa yang berminat dengan nak join ataupun nak ambil tahu pasal gerakan anjak mula ni, boleh direct contact us anytime dekat social media. You just type at the Joli Rogue Instagram and also Facebook. You can contact us anytime you want. And this is how I reimagine Malaysia. This is my plan to reimagine Malaysia. Because I tell you one thing, this is a game worth winning. Kita perlu jalankan benda ni, kita perlu start benda ni, kita perlu make this happen, because this thing is very worth. It is worth to pretend the youth in Malaysia. Kita perlu bangunkan youth in Malaysia yang mempunyai sense of purpose dan mempunyai arah tujuan dalam diri masing-masing. And saya mengajak di sini tak kira siapa, generasi yang mana, muda maupun tua, yang mahu menjadi sebahagian daripada gerakan yang besar untuk reimagine Malaysia ini, you can contact us. You are allowed to contact us anytime you want. We can create a role for you. Kami boleh create satu role untuk anda rasa anda ni a part of this big game. So do contact us anytime you want. And the last one, I believe we can do this. Kita boleh jayakan benda ni bersama-sama. We do this together. Akhir kata daripada saya, selamat Hari Malaysia. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang baik datang dari Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, yang buruk datang daripada diri saya sendiri. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Wawan. It was a very passionate speech. Now, we're opening the questions for Wawan, but we have a very short time because Redzuan has overshoot his timing. Okay, first question. Soalan, boleh ke letak kepercayaan projek kepada orang muda yang tiada pengalaman? Wawan?
Okay. Okay, basically this project saya akan jalankan dengan group support system yang amat hebat. The Joli Rogue yang mempunyai idea yang hebat, mempunyai aspiration yang hebat, akal fikiran yang hebat, as a support system behind me. Yang orang-orang yang hebat. Kalau saya nak bekerja seorang memang saya tak boleh. Saya baru umur 21. So I have the back orang yang hebat di belakang saya untuk jayakan benda ni.
Alright. Okay, since Yani is raising his hand, so I think we'll take this one, the last one. From Yani. Yes, Yani, what is your question?
Sorry, just now I forgot to put down my hand.
Okay.
No question. Hebat anak muda, hebat.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I think we go to the next speaker, since this one already overshoot his time. All right. Our next speaker is Mr. Khairul Azman. He is basically a visionary scientist and entrepreneur. He's very passionate about high impact innovation entrepreneurship, where he coordinates multiple disciplinary R&D to produce disruptive projects. He is the CEO and co-founder of IX Lab. His talk today will be on the alternating future of Malaysia. I would like to invite Mr. Azman to give his talk.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Assalamualaikum everyone. Selamat Hari Malaysia. I'll start by sharing my screen first. Okay, Assalamualaikum sekali lagi. Selamat pagi. Saya Khairul Azman. Hari ini saya nak sama-sama kita rakyat Malaysia untuk reimagine Malaysia. Okay, kita dah lama tak nampak jatah negara ni bagi pekerja berada sektor swasta pada sektor kerajaan. Seperti memang kita nampak hari-hari. Sebenarnya jatah negara ni sendiri memberikan sesuatu sense of belonging kepada kita, sesuatu yang kehebatan. Harimau ni menurut satu kehebatan. Jadi sebab itu kalau dapat kita rasakan kehebatan di dalam diri kita, sebenarnya ialah sesuatu yang amat bermakna. Baik. Apakah itu IX Lab? Kami adalah IX Lab Innovation Exchange Laboratory. Kami adalah Venture Studio, Tech Reactor dan Aspirational Pirate. Pada hari ini saya lebih untuk berkongsikan mengenai Aspirational Pirate. Kita selalu bercakap pasal London. Okey, London ni biasanya akan mendapat orang kata perspektif yang negatif, kurang baik. Sama ada kita baca daripada kisah-kisah sejarah ataupun kita tengok cerita Pirates of the Caribbean, biasanya pirate ni melambangkan sesuatu society yang ada cara hidup daripada yang tersendiri dan matlamat mereka yang tersendiri. Baik, saya adalah CEO dan juga co-founder kepada X-Lab. Sekarang ni ada beberapa inisiatif dan juga syarikat yang saya bangunkan, dan 2 daripadanya sudah berstatus pre-IPO dan 3 lagi yang masih berdekat startup. Pandemik mempengaruhi juga kerana beberapa perancangan dan juga pelaksanaan tak dapat dilaksanakan mengikut plan yang telah dirancang. Tapi itu tidak memberikan alasan untuk kita meneruskan, dan sekarang PIPO company sedang buat fundraising dan sedang ikut rancangan yang terbaru lah. Hari ini saya akan share inisiatif kami, iaitu High Impact Innovation Entrepreneurship dan juga blueprint alternate future. Okey, kenapa saya letak gambar kapal lanon di situ? Nanti kita akan sama-sama tengok dan kongsi berapa sebenarnya lanon ini mempunyai beberapa culture yang menarik. Baik, the alternate future of Malaysia. Saya yakin kita semua ada dalam diri kita perasaan nak majukan negara kita. Kita nak buat sesuatu yang lebih baik. Kita rasakan sebenarnya Malaysia boleh pergi lebih jauh. Bangsa kita dulu pernah menguasai samudera. Kita adalah satu komuniti perdagangan yang besar selain Venice. Jadi Malaysia ni adalah hebat. Dan sekarang keadaan yang kita hadapi sekarang ni masih lagi okey, masih lagi bagus berbanding negara luar. Kita sebenarnya bernasib baik, tapi kita sebenarnya kata orang, adakah kita suka orang kenal kita sebagai seorang yang stagnan ataupun tidak ada kemajuan. Malaysia sebenarnya mempunyai potensi yang jauh lebih hebat, dan kita hanya memerlukan aspirasi yang lebih baik, dan kita memerlukan anak muda. Tadi kita pernah bincang dengan Wawan, adik kita Wawan. Kita pun memberikan aspirasi untuk anak-anak muda supaya mempunyai sense of purpose, ada perasaan untuk mengubah sesuatu. Baiklah. Apakah idea yang dapat mengubah negara? Itu akan kita kongsikan sebentar lagi. Dan sebelum sesuatu idea tu kita nak bincangkan, mula-mula sekali yang saya nak bincangkan ialah tentang kemandirian diri kita sendiri sebagai rakyat Malaysia. Baik. Apakah High Impact Innovation Entrepreneurship ataupun saya panggil HIVE? Dalam perjalanan kami dalam X-Lab, kami telah menemui ramai sebenarnya anak-anak muda, dan termasuk yang dah tua macam saya sendiri, usahawan yang dah bangun dan rebah, dan ada juga yang berjaya bersama kami along the way. Majoritinya mereka ni yang berjaya stay tu biasanya dia ada satu mindset yang hebat. Okey. Trait mereka sama, dan saya dapat simpulkan mereka tu sebenarnya ada ciri-ciri lanon. Okey, kenapa saya suka kongsikan pasal lanon? Saya masa kecil, bukan masa kecil, saya muda, masa saya umur Wawan, umur 20 tahun. Saya membesar dengan komik One Piece. Okey. Sekarang ni umur Luffy dah 5 tahun. Tapi kita dah 20 tahun. Maknanya dia macam hidup dalam dimensi berbeza. Baik, di dalam setiap ahli-ahli ataupun nakama Luffy ni mempunyai kelebihan dan kekurangan masing-masing. Luffy sendiri sebagai seorang anak muda, dia adalah orang yang paling muda di dalam pasukan ini. Tapi dia mampu untuk mengetuai satu pasukan lanon kecil ini yang akhirnya menggegarkan separuh daripada New World. Dan di situ kita dapat lihat, kalau kita tengok tadi, kalau kita fikir boleh ke anak muda macam Wawan ni nak mengubah negara? Kalau tanya saya kata sangat boleh. Tapi yang kita juga tahu, mereka bekerja sebagai sebuah pasukan. Sebab apa? Sebab kita tak tahu apa yang berlaku pada masa depan, but we stand a better chance if we doing it together. Okay, identify our capabilities. Setiap orang ada kelebihan dan kelemahan masing-masing. Bila kita bercakap tentang keusahawanan, ini bukan perkara main-main. Kita tengok ni kartun, kalau kita tengok dia sebagai sebuah kartun, okey, ini adalah sebuah kartun yang kelakar. Tapi let me bring us to the better perspective. Tengok Luffy itu sendiri, dia adalah seorang kapten. Dan berapa kali dia hampir menemui maut. Kalau kita berada di kedudukan Luffy sebagai seorang kapten, apakah yang kita akan buat? Mampukah kita menghadapi cabaran yang begitu hebat? Bila kita cakap tentang entrepreneurship, kita bertanggungjawab terhadap diri kita sendiri. Macam mana kita nak uruskan diri kita sendiri. Kita tak ada siapa-siapa nak bayar gaji kita. Kadang-kadang kita terpaksa membuat perkara-perkara yang di luar jangkauan, di luar kebiasaan, di luar kotak. Dan kadang-kadang kita mendapat pelbagai feedback daripada feedback yang tidak sepatutnya. Kadang-kadang kita mendapat lontaran daripada masyarakat apabila sesuatu kegagalan berlaku. Seperti kita bincangkan sebelum ni, kiranya anak murid itu gagal, kebiasaannya dia akan jadi mangsa bashing. Sekarang lagi cepat kan, you gagal sikit je pun buat statement silap dah kena bashing. Jadi itu adalah satu culture yang kita rasakan sangat kurang matang untuk satu-satu bangsa itu untuk maju ke hadapan. Kalau saya lebih suka kalau saya kata culture Gelanon ni lagi bagus, sebab kalau ada ahli yang mengalami kecederaan atau kegagalan dalam satu operasi atau misi, ahli yang layak akan datang dan support and make sure the mission can be established. The mission can be completed. Baik. Tanggungjawab sebagai seorang ketua, tanggungjawab sebagai seorang Lanon ada pada setiap diri usahawan itu sendiri sebenarnya. Lanon atau pirate dalam kisah kita ni, the aspirational pirate adalah mereka yang tidak tertakluk kepada siapa-siapa punya selain idea mereka. Tak ada siapa-siapa yang bagi tahu mereka apa yang patut mereka buat, tak ada siapa yang bagi tahu mereka jangan buat ini atau jangan buat itu. Mereka sendiri yang menetapkan hala tuju mereka. Mereka sendiri yang meletakkan perancangan hidup mereka. Mereka sendiri yang meletakkan batu asas terhadap tiap-tiap sesuatu. They are out of the box. Mereka tiada sempadan. Mereka tiada sempadan yang menghalang mereka daripada buat apa yang mereka nak capai. Okey, kita tengok kawan-kawan Luffy. Masing-masing ada aspirasi sendiri. Daripada Chopper yang nak jadi doktor paling hebat, daripada Rico Robin yang nak membaca tulisan-tulisan yang tak dapat dibaca oleh orang lain, Frankie yang nak membuat inovasi yang paling hebat, Soul King yang nak membuat muzik kepada semua orang, Roronoa Zoro nak menjadi pemain pedang terhebat. Sampaikan tahap Usopp pun, dia ada aspirasi untuk menjadi pelayar terhebat. Dia boleh balik kampung, tulis cerita kat orang kampung dia. Jadi masing-masing orang ada aspirasi yang sangat jelas. Sanji nak jadi tukang masak yang paling hebat. Luffy dia ada satu je matlamat dia. Dia nak jadi Pirate King. Dia bukanlah nak sangat pun adventure lain. Orang lain ada aspirasi nak dapatkan harta dan sebagainya. Luffy ada aspirasi yang sangat jelas, iaitu nak jadi Pirate King. Okey. Kenapa saya banyak berbincang tentang aspirasi dan kenapa saya cakap aspirasi itu kena jelas? Baik. Nak mengubah negara bukan satu perkara yang mudah. Okey. Bukanlah satu perkara yang kita boleh sembang-sembang di kedai kopi dan bukan boleh kita sambang dengan orang yang tidak membuat apa-apa tindakan. Kalau Lanon ni tak buat tindakan, mereka tak akan dapat berlayar di lautan. So the pirate culture, the aspirational pirate concept that we are sharing today is that actually the next step or the next level of thinking, yang mana kalau kita pandang konsep Lanon ni daripada aspek yang very positif, dia sebenarnya adalah satu bangsa yang tidak memandang kegagalan itu sebagai satu kegagalan. Mereka akan terus mara ke hadapan sama ada mati ataupun dapat sesuatu objektif itu dicapai. Baik, dah jelas tentang aspirasi, dah jelas kenapa Lanon tu adalah very fundamental. The aspiration of the aspirational pirate punya konsep tu sangat fundamental dan bukan perkara yang kita boleh pandang daripada berbagai aspek, kita boleh pandang daripada berbagai perspektif. Tapi hari ini saya nak ajak tuan-tuan sekalian, kawan-kawan semua on this journey to shift our mindset untuk melihat bagaimana dengan culture yang baik, dengan cara yang bagus, cara berfikir yang betul, kita mampu mengubah negara. Baik, aspirational clarity. Dalam apa sahaja perkara yang kita lakukan, baik dalam ibadah kita, baik dalam pekerjaan kita, baik dalam apa sahaja perbuatan, aspirational ataupun niat yang dalam dulu lubuk hati yang paling dalam. Itulah sebenarnya aspirational clarity. Sekiranya kita ada niat yang baik, contoh, walaupun Lanon pun dia ada niat yang baik, dia buat kerja-kerja yang baik, orang pun confused kan, dia ni Lanon ke NGO kebajikan kan. Tapi kalau kita buat aspiration, kita tak ada aspiration kan, kita masuklah persatuan pun, kita akan biasanya masuk sama dia jadi orang biasa, itu baguslah kalau kita nak survive. Tapi ada juga yang masuk sesuatu organisasi tu sebab dia nak ambil kesempatan kan, dia being selfish dan cuba nak menangguk dak ikro. Okey, kita tinggalkan bab-bab yang negatif. Hari ni kita nak fokus pasal aspirational clarity. Bila you ada tempat mana you nak pergi, you tahu apa you nak buat, you will do whatever it takes to achieve it, regardless hujan ke, ribut ke, sakit ke, kalau mati, tak boleh buat apalah. Tapi selain daripada death, everything is possible. Kita achieve semua tu, kita boleh buat. Jadi, sekali lagi macam kita bincang tadi, perkara ini adalah bukan perkara yang kita boleh buat seorang-seorang. Perkara itu adalah perlu dilakukan secara berkumpulan ataupun dengan you punya kru rakaman. Hari ini saya kongsikan blueprint yang dibuat oleh IX Lab. Kenapa kita boleh, bukan nak berdabik dada tu, shout out kata kita ada cara sebenarnya nak mendapatkan Malaysia yang lebih gemilang, yang lebih best, yang ada kereta terbang, yang ada apa lembu terbang. Tapi sebenarnya memang ada kaedah, sebenarnya memang ada kaedahnya untuk kita capai, dan kalau kita dapat kongsikan kaedah ni kepada semua rakyat Malaysia, masing-masing boleh membuat sukatan terhadap diri sendiri, di manakah kedudukan kita di dalam menyumbang kepada mencapai alternate future. Baik, it's a very straightforward basic function, mathematical function tingkatan 3 punya, tak salah saya. Okay. Dia adalah graf garis lurus yang saya namakan IMOK. IMOK ni sebenarnya as simple as we can see, fundamentally it can be as depth as we can go. Kalau kita nak go very deep, kita akan mendapati ini adalah asas kepada sesuatu, kalau you nak buat sesuatu perubahan, inilah fundamental thinking yang sebenarnya kita perlu ada, ataupun IX Lab buat di dalam kami punya inisiatif. Baik, ingin saya emphasize kat sini expression clarity. Expression clarity ni macam tadi kita bincang, kenapa sangat penting. Kita cuma ada satu aspirasi. Maksudnya kita tak boleh confuse. Seseorang atau individu yang nak go to this journey, dia tak boleh ada macam-macam fikiran, dia tak boleh pening kepala, orang panggil kan. Dia tak ketahuan bahasa orang kampungnya. They have to be very firm, they have to know what they do. And that's what makes him do whatever it takes to achieve whatever they want to achieve. Okay, bahagian atas ni adalah bahagian expression clarity. Persamaan ni bukan persamaan matematik per se, dia adalah satu conceptual persamaan yang mana apabila kita masukkan nilai-nilai tadi, kita akan nampak bahawa oh, ini sebenarnya culture yang kita nak buat. Baik, I tadi merujuk kepada individual. The individual itself, saya, tuan-tuan semua, masing-masing. Kan, individual yang mana merujuk kepada, kalau dalam IX Lab punya konsep, high impact innovation entrepreneurship, dia entrepreneur punya diri dia sendiri. Adakah dia ada ekspresi yang jelas? Adakah dia ada inisiatif yang jelas? Adakah dia ada adakah dia seorang instigator? Adakah dia memang ada ciri-ciri red dot dalam bahasa kapitalis ialah adakah dia ada ciri-ciri red dot yang kita perlukan? Baik, apakah M? M adalah merujuk kepada money ataupun duit. Ataupun dalam kes IX Lab, capital ataupun fund, ataupun investment dan sebagainya. Dan kalau bank, dia ada pinjaman lah, loan dan sebagainya. Dan seterusnya operatif, O. O di dalam persamaan ini merujuk kepada operatif. Okey, kalau dalam bahasa perusahaannya adalah dia punya corporate structure. So if you have a corporate structure macam CEO, CFO, CMO, dan dibergantung kepada struktur pentadbiran masing-masing lah. Dan seterusnya K untuk knowledge. Knowledge kalau dalam IX Lab adalah inovasi tersebut, teknologi yang dibangunkan ataupun expertise, sama ada you ada expert yang ramai, you memang pandai, teknologi yang dah bagus ataupun teknologi tersebut baru nak dimajukan. As long as you have the knowledge, if you have the know-how, as long as you have the boleh membuat satu inovasi, kita kategorikan sebagai knowledge. Baik, apakah relevansinya setiap persamaan ini? Baik, saya kongsikan. T sebenarnya merujuk kepada time frame. Baik, bila kita bercakap pasal future, bila kita cakap pasal alternate future lebih-lebih lagi, bila kita cakap pasal masa hadapan, kita takkan boleh lari pada 3 fundamental perkara. Masa, iaitu time, time frame atau jangka masa, timing dan time frame. Iaitu kalau kita bergerak dan juga jangka masa yang kita nak ambil untuk buat sesuatu IPO ataupun sesuatu jangka masa yang kita nak ambil untuk buat satu parameter tu, biasa ada timing, time frame, dan dia membolehkan sesuatu operasi itu mudah di-govern, mudah untuk, especially macam kami di IX Lab govern baru 5 inisiatif, dan setiap inisiatif tu ada dia punya inisiatif yang di bawahnya. Jadi inilah cara untuk kita mendapatkan satu structure untuk govern how things should work. Baik. Okey, macam mana function alternate future ni boleh berfungsi? Saya kongsikan. First kali, bear in your mind, aspirational clarity. T-not, T untuk T-not, maknanya satu syarikat tu dalam startup, bila kita cakap pasal startup, kita letak dia T-not, maksudnya masa dia belum berjalan. Kita groom the startup company, kita kenal pasti this individu ataupun red dot, kita pastikan yang dia mempunyai pemikiran yang telah pun di-groom dia dan mampu untuk melaksanakan perancangan-perancangan yang telah kita rancang bersama ataupun kita punya roadmap yang telah kita bina bersama. Okey, bila kita dah ada roadmap, bila kita dah ada segalanya in place dan dia kata dia dah ready, kita akan start seeding fund. Okey, di situlah di mana T akan menjadi I, initial. Maknanya you dah start you punya masa tu, jangka masa tu. Dan kita buat satu layout kita panggil financial roadmap. Financial roadmap ni adalah yang istilah dalam capital mechanism yang kita gunakan untuk bila kita nak buat sesuatu IPO. Contoh kalau kita nak ambil 5 tahun. Satu syarikat yang kita nak buat IPO dalam tempoh 5 tahun. Ada seorang red dot dan kita ada mekanisme untuk mencapainya. So, bila kita start buat capital mechanism, apabila red dot tu seorang yang ada aspirational clarity, yang kita consider dia ni satu, maknanya perfect guy for the job, the perfect guy for the job, dia akan membuatkan setiap duit yang masuk, fund yang masuk tu, tak kira lah seeding round ke, angel round ke, ataupun series A, series B, setiap kali kita masuk dan dia akan mampu hit dia punya KPI setiap masa. Maksudnya kalau kita ada seeding fund, kita nak hit KPI dalam 9 bulan atau 12 bulan. This guy ataupun kita punya instigator ni, kita punya red dot ataupun kita punya usahawan ni mampu melakukannya tanpa sebarang alasan. Maka kita berikan dia markah 1 kat situ. Maksudnya T0 tu betul. Jangka masa T tu akan dapat dicapai pada masa ditetapkan mengikut jumlah duit yang dimasukkan. Mengikut jumlah capital yang dapat investment yang berjaya dimasukkan. Sekarang, apa akan jadi kalau red dot tu seorang yang bermasalah? I tu nilai dia akan menjadi lebih daripada 1. Maksudnya dia ni suka bagi alasan. Okey, 1, dah ada 2 dah. Dia ni suka, dia ni tak jelas aspirasi dia. Kejap hari tu nak buat projek ni. Lepas tu kejap, saya rasa tak best lah, kita buat macam ni pula. So dia dah ada 3 lah. And then dia kata, hari tu saya apa ni jumpa investor lain lah. Investor tu offer ajak berlari dengan company dia. Okey, dia dah ada 3 dah. And then, kerana kita perlukan banyak masa untuk menyelesaikan each konflik. Dia ada banyak konflik. So bila masa dia tu kat atas tu besar, I tu, dia ni ada satu pemalar tu. Dia tidak boleh lebih daripada 1. Tetapi sekiranya dia lebih daripada 1, T0 tak akan dapat dicapai. Maksudnya, tak kira lah berapa banyak pun funding yang akan masuk, sentiasa masalah tu lebih besar daripada pelaksanaannya. Dan T tu akan menjadi sangat panjang. Kalau nasib baik mungkin terlajak 2 tahun. Nasib tak baik memang T infinity lari lah. Maknanya red dot tu dah memang tak dapat diselamatkan. So di situ kita boleh tengok, kita akan bagi satu time frame sampai berapa lama kita nak ambil masa untuk groom this red dot. Tapi biasanya grooming berlaku masa T0 sebelum seeding fund berlaku. Bila dah seeding fund, perkara itu tak boleh berlaku. Maknanya kalau kita nak tahu this individu boleh carry the project or not, pastikan kita buat masa tengah T0. Okey, seterusnya okay. Okay part is the market mechanism part. Ni sebenarnya dia sama konsep dia macam IM. Kalau sesuatu individu ataupun sesuatu syarikat tu pre-IPO company ataupun even company yang dah establish dan dah structure company dia, kita boleh buat menggunakan konsep yang sama. Kalau dia ada teknologi yang bagus, ada syarikat yang ada teknologi yang bagus tapi mereka lacking of innovation, diorang kurang idea, diorang kurang business model. Tapi kita tak bincang pasal tu hari ni, kita bincang pasal teknologi tu, sekiranya dia ada teknologi yang hebat tetapi dia ada corporate culture yang tak bagus ataupun dia ada CEO, CFO dia tak pandai menguruskan syarikat, sama juga T tu akan jadi panjang walaupun I tu still 1. Jadi kita in a very perfect condition, bahagian atas tu aspirational clarity mesti 1 dan O pun mesti 1. Jadi ni adalah kedua-dua pemalar untuk govern. Bila kita tengok macam mana kita nak structure this company atau macam mana kita nak bangunkan this startup company ataupun this pre-IPO company, kita dah tahu daripada awal ini akan berjaya ataupun gagal. Jadi kalau dah tahu dia gagal, apa nak buat? Kan? Kita boleh pilih lah, kita tukar yang bagus. Sama ada kita tukar software dia, maksudnya kita bagi dia impart knowledge ataupun kita tukar orangnya. Jadi attitude tu adalah satu benda kita tak boleh tukar. Knowledge dengan orang kita boleh tukar. So this is what we call the I am okay concept. So setakat ni boleh faham ke? Kan? Untitled is a very simple process. It's a very simple concept, tapi it's a very fundamental. For us, it's very fundamental, and I hope we can help you. If you are okay, I am okay. If I'm okay, we are okay. Malaysia will be okay. Then the alternate future can be achieved. It is kind of scientific. We put this concept into as scientific as we can. Even ini hanyalah sekadar sebuah satu graf berkara songsang yang very simple. Tapi kalau you letak kamiran kat situ, you boleh, derive this thing to a more interesting equation.
Azman, you have exceeded your time.
Okey. Hingga sekarang ini saya sudahi dengan saya akan akhiri dengan berkongsikan inilah company-company yang syarikat-syarikat yang sedang dibangunkan. Skye Technologies dengan aerospace, Batum Green buat green technologies. Angkasa Tani membangunkan next generation tumbuhan, agriculture dan agriculture, Pharma X dan healthcare, dan Curator focusing on the grassroots and juga community empowerment. Okey, bersama ini saya sudahi the konsep tadi dan alternate future of Malaysia. We hope that we can transform the nation together. Just because we are Malaysian doesn't mean that we can't do wonders. With that, saya sudahi dengan wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See?
Alright, thank you, Azman. There was a very lengthy explanation on the what do you call it, on the formula. Interesting. Okay, is there any questions from the floor? If no, I will go to the next speaker. Okay, our next speaker, Mr. Afiq Azhari. Basically, he is from the aviation industry, where previously he was a helicopter engineer. He is also a holder for a private pilot license. He is very passionate about the aviation industry, where he founded Q Aerotech, Sdn Bhd, which he teaches drones technologies for education and entertainment. And Afiq Azhari also is a CEO of Skye Electrica, which their focus is on electric aviation. One of their project, which is currently they are pursuing, is the launching of the first flying school in Malaysia, which uses electric planes, where the plane is run by battery. Afiq today Afiq today will share the insights of National Drone Initiative. Let's welcome him.
Video, I will share the screen. Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2 3 3 2 1. Mic check 1 2 3 3 2 1. Speaker, can you hear me? Mr. Faidz Hamzah.
Yes, yes.
All right, good. So, are you seeing my screen? Or
Yep.
the full screen? Stand by. Imagine you see this. I share the tab only. Okay, good. So, confirm you are seeing a picture and also wordings. Mic check. Yeah, tengah set up dulu ya. This one. Mr. Faidz Hamzah, can you see your picture?
Yes,
all right,
can.
All right, that confirms I'm online. Assalamualaikum and good day. All right, thank you very much for coming, guys. Thank you very much. So, right to it, I'm Afiq Azhari. I'm from Seremban, Negeri Sembilan. I'm the CEO of Skye Electra. Our focus are into the future development, mostly in the sustainable air mobility market. So, a brief about my aviation adventure. I completed my study from UniKLMIAT in 2010. I jumped straight into the industry at the lowest section of the aviation career pyramid. So, working as a helicopter ground crew, I experienced all the gritty works lah, isi minyak semua, from aircraft handling, its maintenance processes, including its operation and management from the bottom up. At the end of 2012, I got my dream job where I got the opportunity to serve my father. So both of us work at Maju Air Services. We operate my first love. There is a Black Beauty named Naimai Abu, the helicopter there. So for its owner air travel, including other special missions, there are only 3 personnel in the organization, an admin, myself and my father. Being is the general manager and the pilot, so all the operational tasks are on me, from mission coordination, overseeing maintenance processes, including being the representative for safety and security concern. Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, during my days in Maju Air, The company sent me to my official flying training at Malaysian Flying Academy. I learned a lot on being an aviator. So flying in an old Piper Warrior, we call it. I got my call sign Academy 5111. And on that path that Allah has written, my journey was cut short, but I managed to get a private pilot license, Alhamdulillah. I had to return to the company and continue serving my father, but still, Alhamdulillah, it was the best chapter ever. On 2012, that was the last time I've ever flown an aircraft. In 2018, the journey took another turn, where the helicopter has been on wet list. That means all of it has been transferred into another company, and both of us are required to serve a different company. And into another aviation chapter, I was given a huge responsibility to be a post holder, to handle all ground coordination at bases in Subang, Langkawi, and also Ipoh. So Aerial Powerline Subrian Berhad is an aviation services company where our list of missions are huge, from medical evacuation, flying doctor, cargo, even underslung. There is a thing that, okay, underslung, carry on, including local and international VVIP transport. But in September 2019, it was put on hold as the company have abruptly shut down due to financial difficulties. Imagine that. That was the last time I involved with the aviation. So Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah again, in June 2020, this is the most intriguing chapter where I had the opportunity to serve Marvel Sands Sdn Bhd as a drone maintenance manager. Imagine that. Alhamdulillah. This is where I put my years of experience managing the well-being of a helicopter. And this is where I found my digitalization skill, imagine that. Alhamdulillah. And came up with multiple initiatives to digitalize the maintenance and operation process. But in my journey in the drone industry, started earlier than that. I started my own company in 2018 named Curator, where with a vision to share beneficial knowledge. We explore the drone education consultation industry. Nice. We focus on the grassroots and we envision to a sustainable mobility. But my journey in the aviation industry as a whole started earlier than that, as my father, I am my father's wingman since my early days. I've been in the industry for more than 20 years. And through those long years, I have a unique perspective into the industry. As you can see on the picture, the left side of the picture is my father, Major Azhari. He is the past who didn't see the destructive effect of drones. And on his side is my son, Afiq, the future that didn't know the potential future in drones. Where to start and which route to venture through yet? Yeah. So preparing the platform for both of them to engage in this technological advancement, one of my important purpose in life, as you heard. Because the industrial destructive effects are huge. As you can see in the picture in 2019, many aerial services had to involve helicopters and aeroplanes. They have to do that. They have to use that. But in 10 years' time, it has been taken over by the use of simple technology, the drone, to carry out the same job while reducing the risk and cost to operate. And there are excitement that the technological advancement can bring. Alhamdulillah. This is a clip of a drone race series that started in Australia, named Speeder. It uses a multi-copter to fly around a racetrack by embracing it needs to improve to be faster, cheaper, or even better in flying using electric. Nak guna minyak buat apa? This is also involve the conventional ways to operate is as same as the aviation industry, where the need of ground handler flight communication to put itself in front safely. Nonetheless, in the days of my venture in the Malaysian drone industry, I found out most of its players focus are on the commercial drone application, aerial mapping, aerial video photography, or even agriculture operation. And most of the aircraft that they use are imported from abroad, rather than producing it locally. And only a fraction that focus onto the grassroots talent development. Where is our future plan? As I am feeling envious by our neighbors, for example, Indonesia, they come up with an annual robotic talent nationally and use it to support their plans to extend the assembly of their long-range drones for military use by 2022. Next year. The picture is an Indonesian development and manufactured medium altitude long-range drone named Elang Hitam. It is big. So if it's still in our comfort zone using outside technology rather than developing it locally, the consequences will show their ugly faces. Especially to the Malaysian individual, the predecessors, the past shall not continue to be clouded by the huge opportunity of this technology. And our successor, the future, shall have lack of exposure towards discovering their hidden talents, especially when the primary school assessment test has been taken out, the UPSR, where primary school children does it. Where primary school children doesn't have the right focus to put onto. And that will evolve into a Malaysian community problem, where most of our focus shall be upon the outdated cottage industry, industry quota, food beverages like crepe or musangking products, arts like batik or calligraphy, and that is what we have been pushed onto. Banyak. But do you know that our young talent have bigger desire and how they can self-expression, especially in the IR 4.0 industrial revolution? Then the lack of STEM enhancement, they didn't know which route they can venture in the ever-evolving industry. There is science, technology, engineering, and math. While putting the negative aside, while putting the negative things as a reason to move forward, that is better. We have developed the grassroots movement. The grassroots movement that will focus onto the youth while envisioning towards the alternate future. One of our programs in line is mentoring the future mentors. And learning the mastering path. They shall start with the basic and focus toward the future. By learning the basic, they shall be exposed to the capabilities on learning the foundation of the drones. Theoretically, with STEM enhancement, they shall learn especially on how the drone components work and goes deep into even a physics formula. The formula for a propeller is half rho v squared s CLS, and each person can define it as their own way based on their understanding. We shall hear about that, but still, or operationally, this will give them the innovative spirit to challenge the critical thinking and evolve into something better. And moving on to the route to the future, there is category B, the exciting one. By including a type of payload, for example, a camera attached to a drone, they can venture into a new type of learning. It's through education or even entertainment side of drones. This is where there's a lot of understanding that needs to be shared, but still we move on. There is one of the crucial part where industry harmonization can happen. That is the category C, where the participant can be nurtured into learning to commercialize their drone skill by approved remote training organization, RPTO, that are being developed right now. So participants shall be channeled to the local training organization to learn and explore what it takes to be a drone professional. Go there, we shall lead you, we shall guide you, inshallah. Thus, looking into the future, they will be exposed by the potential technology advancement that are coming in the near future. Skye Electra. And how does it empower the community? Through the propagation of knowledge and its awareness. The local community shall understand its capabilities and opportunities, including the component of the industrial revolution, that is the IoT, Internet of Things. Then through STEM enhancement, they can innovate their own drone club infrastructure. That is a different game. Thus, we can be a better platform to commence competition for a better talent scouting. With the initiative for the future, the alternate future of Malaysia, we imagine Malaysia will have a large pool of drone professionals on one side, and will have an advanced manufacturing ecosystem, as even as a local community industry perusahaan desa buat komponen drone, macam mana? But the true vision and initiative that can uplift the next generation to be a future ready workforce. Orang dah ready dah nanti, insyaAllah. And the ultimatum, the new aviation powerhouse for Southeast Asia or even globally. Well, it's the electoral. So what's the move? Through our subsidiary Kurator, we are going for the community empowerment via National Drone Initiative. It will expose the drone potential to the youth community and the nation, or how we can explore the potential to be involved on the development of drone services, like delivery of a life raft on coastal emergency services. Panggil dulunya kat tepi pantai kan, dia orang ada drone untuk hantar life raft, life saving raft, or even the drone can be used as a cargo delivery, firefighting, and as what are hyped today, drone for agriculture. But still, bridging drone and aviation services are our most concern, where we are looking forward to operate them side by side. And drone shall be complementary component for the whole operation. Why not? Kan banyak gila drone tapi satu helikopter jaga. Why not deducting the high risk concern lah. But this initiative true potential are in sharing of this beneficial knowledge. Ilmu manfaat pasal drone ni, even control pun ilmu juga. By combining the basic drone with STEM initiative, we can lay out the required foundation for the youth and prepare them to go further than we can ever imagine. Because drones are the DNA of the new aviation, and a phrase to remember. It will be used. It will be the intelligent robot of the sky. So, being in line with the topic today, the reImagine show ni kan. reImagine Malaysia, there are a huge number of internet center in Malaysia. Banyak tu. More than 800 throughout Malaysia. Why not convert it into a drone learning center? Or even as an additional, it will propagate the benefit knowledge better and empower the community surrounding it. Almost the end. And again, I imagine the alternate future of Malaysia as a global drone workforce producer, a new aviation powerhouse. But still, imagine Malaysia has the initiative to carry out talent development, still focus onto the grassroots. So Alhamdulillah, because this is our time and my time is over. We are responsible for the future generation to make Malaysia the next startup nation as we can imagine. Boleh kan? Thank you again for the show. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Mr. Faidz. Selamat Hari Malaysia.
Thank you, Afiq. Okay, we have two questions in the chat. Number one, how long will the drone learning curve take place? How long will the drone learning curve take place?
Okay. That one depends on the commitment of the pilot lah. Actually, if they are, my 5-year-old can learn about flying a drone, 5-year-old for me, and that is so short, but still there are segment ways in the future. Daripada drone kecil tu dia boleh fly, and then upgrade ada kamera, boleh jadi FPV goggle ataupun boleh connect dengan any IoT device so that they can be programmable. Yang tu mungkin dalam sebulan. So short sebulan, and then the steps goes further lah on category B or category C. There's a long route. This is the basic, learn that. Hope it answers the question lah. The learning curve depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. Why you think Malaysia is the best suited for this drone initiative? Is kereta terbang possible?
First kali kalau tak Malaysia mana pula dah Hari Malaysia. Kita buatlah kat Malaysia kan. Dah. It is where I am stated right now. Kalau bergerak ke mana-mana, insyaAllah saya akan bagi juga. Bagi je ilmu tu. InsyaAllah ilmu tu, ilmu yang manfaat tu, the end user will benefit it. Betul tak? Kan? Nice. So kereta terbang tu, buat apa kereta terbang? Baik kapal terbang elektrik. Why not? Kan? Kapal terbang elektrik cantik tu. And saya tak nak start daripada situ. Thank you very much. Hope you answers lah.
Okay, this is from Fikri. Can I know how the variation of drone edu company in Malaysia is done? What kind of funding? Okay,
This one you share contact me lah, nanti I can share the link towards
maybe you
uh-huh.
direct with Afiq. And from Muhammad Biatan, what kind of funding do you need? I think this one also should be
I will share a link towards a Telegram channel. There is Q Comrades, where I share my most beneficial knowledge there regarding drones aviation. You can ask anything on that. I will share it on the chat. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think that's end for Afiq. Now, thank you, Afiq. Now we'll have, I would like to invite to the next speaker. Oh, sorry. Our next speaker, Mr. Azdi Khairil. He is a business professional with few impressive portfolios, interesting working experience. Before this, he worked at Louis Vuitton and also Shell Malaysia. To name a few, he is involved in writing modules used for national level business training and high performing entrepreneurship seminars. And one of his manuscripts, he wrote, Naskah Manipulasi Pelanggan, has been read, downloaded, and converted to be a national module. He also had extensive experience in managing several strategic consultancy projects with IRDA, Iskandar Regional Development Authority, and also Malaysian Digital Economy Malaysia. Today, his talk will be on the Startup Nation. I would like to welcome Mr. Azdi Khairil, Managing Director of Agenda Aksara.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, and a very good afternoon, I think. Okay, saya share my screen. Okay. Okay guys, selamat Hari Malaysia. Hari ini hari cuti, so saya berterima kasih for the participation, for the support untuk kita dengan kawan-kawan kita lah, for kita punya session kecil kita hari ini. So as for today, saya punya tajuk sebenarnya dia agak menarik untuk dikupas sebenarnya, sebab saya dapat tajuk yang agak dia selalu orang sebut, tapi I think we need to start looking at different angle and perspective. So tajuk saya pada hari ini sebenarnya adalah pasal reImagine Malaysia. Will Malaysia be the next startup nation? So hari ini kita punya part sekarang ni, like we need to confirm on this particular basis lah. So is Malaysia the next startup nation? So first thing first, this is our aspiration. Bila I'm representing Agenda Aksara Berhad. So Agenda Aksara Berhad is the Investco, is the strategic Investco, where kita punya fokus is banyak kepada upholding capital mechanics and empowering businesses to be all IPO able. So we firmly believe that all Malaysian business is basically an IPO able. Apa maksud IPO able ni sebenarnya tau? Kadang-kadang bila kita nak jadi startup, so I'm talking about startup punya business kan, kita selalu fikir bahawa kita nak buat business in the sense that kita kena come up dengan idea yang gempar. Means kita kena buat idea yang bombastic, kita kena buat idea yang power, kita kena fikir something remarkable so that people basically amazed and suka kat kita because we technically going to change the world. Or there's also a way that kita akan fikir bahawa let's sell something biasa, ordinary, but let's try to find something remarkable on how to deliver it. So this is basically dua cara yang kena buat. But most people don't understand that sebenarnya even sekecil-kecil business sampai sebesar-besar business, it's all IPO-able. Kita bagi contoh mudah. Kita akan rasa bahawa kalau jual kapal terbang, jual kereta kebal, kalau kita jual helikopter, kita akan jual all these big stuff. So kita akan rasa macam all this stuff is basically macam wow, besar lah sebab value dia 300 juta, 500 juta, and there is macam berwatan je balik, I'm a defense contractor, something like that. So that part sebenarnya bagus tau. But the truth is, if you know the right mechanics, even a small business like goreng pisang is actually IPO-able. So this part is basically the reasons why we set up Agenda Aksara Berhad. Agenda Aksara Berhad is a pre-IPO company whereby we are going, the aspiration is to help and to empower all business to be all IPO-able. So macam contoh kan, kita rasa kalau kadang-kadang kita fikir macam company kecil, boleh tak kedai runcit aku boleh pergi, can my kedai runcit boleh pergi IPO tak logik, but my news has shown is on a different track. Dia said boleh tak aku punya kedai kuih or maybe kedai laksa or maybe kedai mi kari boleh tak pergi jadi IPO? Tak logik lah. No, it is logical. Oh, Chunky has shown us something. Kalau kita tengok boleh tak even sampai satu peringkat kan tanah kubur or maybe cemetery punya business, business funeral. It is proven dengan model yang betul, dia dah bertukar menjadi IPO-able punya company. So the sky is the limit, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang saya kasih sekalian. So this is basically kita punya condition sekarang. So the condition right now berdasarkan kepada data yang kita dapat daripada SSM, Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia tahun 2018. So total lebih kurang total ada 6.3 juta bisnes berdaftar, bisnes dan syarikat berdaftar di Malaysia. Hampir 6.3 juta. Daripada 6.3 juta tersebut, 5 juta adalah bisnes. Means 5 juta adalah enterprise punya bisnes. So 1.3 juta syarikat adalah syarikat yang formatnya adalah syarikat berhad ataupun syarikat sendirian berhad. 1.3 juta. Dan bayangkan daripada 1.3 juta syarikat private company ataupun unlisted public company yang ada tu, cuma dikira approximately lebih kurang 1,000 company sahaja yang berjaya didaftarkan di dalam Bursa Malaysia. It means, kita tengok balik failure rate is 99.99%. Means 0.001% sahaja peluang dan biasanya untuk company dengan idea-idea yang bagus untuk listed tau. So di mana hilangnya 99.99% company ini, sedangkan ikutkan semua bisnes adalah IPO-able. So dekat sini apa yang kita buat? In Aksara kita define dan basically ada 3 setup yang sebenarnya affecting this particular punya condition. So kalau kita nampak tadi, dia ada 3 bahagian, dia ada entrepreneur punya factors, dia ada government punya factors, and the famous the Great Wall of Malaysia punya factor. Okay, so what is the plan if we were to reimagine Malaysia, because this is the whole setup of what we did now. So kita fikir how to reimagine Malaysia in a way that we need to understand what do we need to go. So apa yang kita akan nampak sebenarnya there's a room for improvement. So kalau kita nak jadikan Malaysia to be the next startup nation, we need to change something. First thing first, we need to change daripada 1,000 company public listed, we have to go to the very significant amount or maybe 100,000. So we are firm to believe that we can create one. Bayangkan kalau kita ada 1.3 juta syarikat berhad dan berhad listed. So we can definitely go to this part. So we can change from 1,000 kepada 100,000 5 years time. So what we need to do, we need to also improve the entrepreneur punya factors, because at this rate, government factors and all the big walls of Malaysia is nothing compared to the on how do kita punya entrepreneur ready ataupun tidak. So we can start by providing a better startup incubation facilities. Let's not talk about how Malaysian government could help. Let's talk about what do we need to go. So kita nampak dekat sini dia ada 2 bahagian dekat sini. You tengok on this side, saya buat satu diagram basic dan mudah. So dia ada tengok dia ada founding time di mana waktu kita punya startup kita akan start buat. Semua orang kan ada, let's just say ada satu orang yang kata, guys, let's go change the world, let's create a dent in the universe. So kita rasa jom kita found something. Kita buka satu company, let's say lah kita buka satu Shyan berhad. So bila kita buka satu Shyan berhad, let's go and create one MVP, minimum viable product, then let's go and prove something to people. So daripada that founding time, and kita cakap okay, tak apa, kita rasa macam there's no point, macam kita dah pakai duit sendiri, kita rasa macam okay, this is the time, the best part, kita kena start cari investment daripada outside. What happened is this, kita tengok dekat situ that part. On the base of the founding time, punya timing dengan the first investment date, basically kalau kat Malaysia ni sekarang ni, it will basically took a very long time for us to fundraise. Our entrepreneurs, our startup was not equipped to fundraise. Kita tak ready kan kita punya business to be bankable enough. Kita tak buat kita punya business to be jadi investable enough. We don't even know what is the best practice to value kita punya company punya valuation. So from that particular punya setup, if we wanted to create a better nation for startup, we need to address this part. From longer time of fundraise, let's make it shorter. So the same goes with the other part, whereby this is where kita akan tengok on the incubation punya sectors untuk bahagian. The normal timing for the first investment date punya bahagian is either co-founder punya round ke, dia cakap pasal angel punya round ke, even on the founders punya round. When the first investment date datang and dia nak sampai kepada IPO punya date tu, kebanyakan company-company yang ada dekat Malaysia terutamanya, bila dia nak go, dia ada masalah bahawa dia tak dapat enough support dan help. So selalunya bila dia nak dapat support dan help ni, sebab sekarang kita punya incubators kita tak banyak, dia tak sebanyak negara luar. Kita kena ada banyak incubation punya places and hub. Sebab kalau kita perasan from the first investment date sampai kepada IPO punya date, there's a short time incubation. Kalau tengok balik the IPOs ataupun pre-IPOs atau startup with longer incubation period, sebenarnya dia lebih berkemungkinan untuk gagal berbanding dengan yang dapat lama. So this is the area of improvement yang kita boleh tengok dekat sini. We need to change on the sector of longer time of incubation. So kita kena push dekat, even bayangkan dia mudah je, the company itself has to be investable and bankable so that the incubators will basically spend more time for them. The mindset has to change, the system has to change. Okay. Later, apa yang kita patut buat adalah sebenarnya adalah we need to provide a better startup accelerator punya facilities. So we can ask for government to do it. Okay, tak ada masalah. But in the end of the day, we in agenda Aksara, we believe that we need to create one improvement agenda. So what we believe is, kalau tengok balik dekat situ, from asalnya satu idea bawa kepada impact, from that idea to give impact. So dia akan ada dua jenis startup. Startup yang datang with traction dan startup yang akan datang without tractions. So, startup yang datang with tractions akan biasanya dia akan kena captured, dia akan kena ambil sebab idea dia gempak. Dia akan dapat perhatian oleh accelerators. Accelerators adalah some sort of macam, dia lebih kurang macam incubators. Tadi incubator adalah company yang incubate. Dia tolong company tu daripada awal dan bantu untuk kembangkan. But the way accelerator works adalah sebenarnya lebih bagus sebab incubators tak masukkan duit. Accelerators, they pump money, they pump resources and they pump their network. So that startups yang ada with accelerator punya support, dia akan jadi lebih berjaya. Jauh beza berjaya kalau berbanding dengan yang incubators, berbanding dengan startup yang tak ada incubation punya support dan even maybe incubator punya basis. But the problem with us right now is our startups punya industry and our business punya environment tidak memungkinkan, belum lagi memungkinkan accelerators itu banyak datang. So kalau macam contoh kat Malaysia, kita ada famous accelerators kat Malaysia, kita ada Petronas, kita ada Fortune 500. So by that basis, what we need to do, we need to start is either buckle up untuk create one very good environment for accelerators to come. So kita akan improve. This is the way for me to reimagine Malaysia. We need to improve the numbers of startups which is yang boleh come out dengan investable and also bankable punya business model and business. So these accelerators akan datang. So we need more startup with tractions. Okay. So next, kita dah ada incubation, kita dah ada accelerators punya basis. Based on what we understand, based on apa yang kita faham on dalam kita punya lab, kita akan perasan bahawa we need to create a better startup fundraising punya ecosystem and facilities. So this is how Malaysia would basically thrive. So saya adalah orang yang dibesarkan dalam keluarga politik. Saya dibesarkan, even saya punya nama, kalau nak cerita balik ada pendapat, nama saya diberi nama Azdi Khairil because my dad was a small time politician thinking that anak dia maybe one day akan jadi Perdana Menteri, which is kelakar lah. So what I was normally groomed daripada kecil is because of this. Rather than you expect the government help, let us go and help ourselves. This is basically what my great dad cakap. So what happened is this, if we keep pointing fingers dan kita kata dekat orang this is wrong and this is wrong, without even thinking of the way for us to change, this is wrong. So what we did is simple. So we created one very good diagram. I took this from CB Insight. So the current practice for fundraising, sebab kadang-kadang orang akan cakap bila kita nak buat business, okay, pakai modal sendiri. But the best business setup is not by organic growth. It's always by exponential growth. Dia ada beza. Kenapa aku punya kedai runcit, kita buka hari ni, kita buka satu kedai runcit, tunggu kedai runcit kita berjaya lepas 1 tahun, 2 tahun, barulah kita akan pinjam duit bank untuk buka cawangan yang kedua, or maybe buka cawangan yang ketiga. It may go right, it may go down. But what happen is this, kalau benda tu gagal, kita dah berhutang 5 juta, 10 juta. Benda ni dia tak bagus tau untuk kita. So what happen is this, kita akan tanya balik, macam manalah 7-Eleven tu boleh buka sampai 1,000 cawangan relax je. Macam mana pula My News tu selamba je buka. Kenapa tiba-tiba JNT boleh buka macam tu je? So I'm talking about exponential punya mindset and exponential punya techniques. So one way to look at it is the source of investment, the source of funding, dia tak datang daripada loans or maybe grants. I'm talking about how Malay particularly thinks, tak apa, we can get grants. I got connected somewhere, let's go get grants. But the truth is, this is how the business works. You buat duit dengan selling to strangers, and also you get money by asking money from strangers, the one who doesn't have personal connections with you and believe solely on your business. So kalau tengok tadi on the fundraise punya ecosystem and facilities, tengok the current practice yang selalu berlaku sekarang for the past few years here in Malaysia or outside, kita on the early stage, awal-awal buat business, kita akan minta duit seed. Ada venture capitalist yang akan datang bagi duit, bagilah duit, start seed punya round 200,000, 100,000, 50,000. And kita akan pitch lah for this particular punya setup. And then kita buka dan kemudian from that particular punya setup, if the business is going for the growth punya stage, masa tu kita akan ask for money from the venture capital, 1 juta, 2 juta, 10 juta. And then bawa kepada later stage, dia akan exit, let's go to IPO. But what happen is this, what we should focus for is basically, we need to start changing and disrupting the system. So rather than you focus on the seed fund, VC fund and IPO straight, what we need to do is add 7 more blocks. The blocks is this, we need to learn how to start rolling funds. We need to understand the importance of having the minimum of 2 accounts basis, a very good governance, financial controls. We need to understand that this is one way to look at things. And then we need to focus more on that's the area of improvement that we need, that we can identify. Then we need to set more infrastructures and maybe environment for angel investors to come. Angel investors, guys, is basically, okay, kita ambil mudah. Angel investors lah orang-orang yang baik-baik, yang ada duit lebih, yang percaya pada kita punya business idea dan nak invest. They are total strangers who's willing to invest and taking this. And then kita tanya balik, adakah diorang ni baik sangat? Tak. Because technically, if anyone dalam angel investment punya round, if diorang beli saham with the company punya setup, maybe dengan harga, dengan nilai satu saham dengan harga, maybe dia beli dengan harga RM5. Potentially, if the business that they invest dalam masa 5 tahun, it can boleh berkembang sampai jadi RM30-40. From RM50 sesaham, kalau ada 1,000 saham, kali dengan RM30. So banyak tak beza macam mana? So angel investors, we need to create more people to invest, to be an angel investors, and we need to create a good angel investment punya ecosystem and infrastructures. So this is also the area that we need to improve. Other than that, kita kena tambah kat sini. So kita ada public stock punya exchange, which is basically the IPO. But we have another setup of round dipanggil sebagai private stock exchange. So private stock exchange where all this company yang belum listed, all this public company, berhad-berhad company yang pre-IPO ni yang belum lagi listed. So we need to have this here in Malaysia, and we need to encourage more of this specific facilities to be here in Malaysia, so that we basically help the company growth from 1,000 PLC tadi private listed boleh pergi sampai 100,000. This is basically one of the weapon, and we need to also reinvest our timing to check out banyak pada spec and direct listing punya approach other than going for traditional IPO. So spec, pada siapa yang tak tahu, spec means special purpose acquisition company. So we directly list utilizing the IPO techniques. So the other one is direct listing. So we have, if we can create a better incubation facility ecosystem, kalau kita boleh cipta good accelerator punya market punya tempat, and then kalau if boleh create a good fundraising punya ecosystem and infrastructures, we will definitely create a better private market punya ecosystem. So the private market punya ecosystem dekat sini kalau tengok, so this is the round. Kalau tengok balik daripada awal, daripada kosong sampai kepada IPO, from asal kosong pada IPO, boleh nampak daripada kiri pergi ke kanan. So dia akan nampak dia ada bahagian dekat situ, ada curve ke bawah, dia tunjuk kat situ the valley of death. So apakah di mana valley of death ni? Sebenarnya most startup and pre-IPO biasanya fail dekat valley of death. Sama ada diorang dapat duit dan diorang tak boleh break even, diorang dapat duit, diorang tak manage duit, diorang buat duit, diorang tak reti from that particular punya fund yang masuk ataupun bisnes yang diorang buat, dia tak berjaya dapat traction yang betul. So this is where most startups and pre-IPO fails. Shock sendiri, what you call it, dia tak betul-betul properly go to market and get the thing right. So what happen is this, daripada bahagian situ, this part we need to start changing. So daripada awal we need to start design the startups, and we need to design the pre-IPO to be bankable at least and investable in a way that it can thrive through the phase of this valley of death. This is where we need also to improve in order to make Malaysia a better startup nation. Next, from that particular punya setup, from that early stage punya bahagian, from that angels and FFF. Oh, maybe orang nak tanya FFF, 3F tu apa? Is a family, friends and fools. Bukan orang bodoh tau. Tak, means strangers, which is orang yang gila lah, berani, kau ni gila kot. So something like that. So dapat So from that basis, kita nak improve on that part. Biasanya juga pre-IPO with support, better support dalam early stage or the early stage punya phase, biasanya akan jadi lagi bagus. So on this particular punya side, you can nampak on the tengah-tengah ada improve part, where the early stage from the first tier sampai pada masuk pada third tier, all the pre-IPOs yang dapat better support di sini akan menjadi lebih baik. So what happened to us is this, oh tak apalah dia dah dapat funding first, tak apalah kita jalankan. What happened to most of startup is kita akan dengar, okay dia punya Series A, dia punya first round dia okay cantik, dah go for Series A. After that Series A, this company gone. After go and after that gone. Why? But at the end of the day, they don't even have support. Tak apalah, company dah besar dah, value dengan nilai 100 juta, value dengan nilai 50 juta, dia mesti dah ada duit. But it's only valued with that basis. So we need to put more support on that particular budget setup. So we need to improve on that also. So the last part is basically on the later stage, on the growth punya stage, whereby on the third round onwards sampai mezzanine punya line, before they go to IPO. This is the time where your equanimity factors counted. If you really learn the whole idea of capital mechanics, technique is second, heart is first. The first thing that we understand, the first thing I learned from Ikram, my partner, from Dr. Wong, is this. A change of heart means the change of destiny. A simple word, but for me benda tu besar lah. Dia kalau kita tengok balik from the third round to mezzanine punya part, this is where all the offers coming in, this is all the diversion come in, this is all the distractions come in. Okay, so this is where everything goes wrong. So on this part, we need to also to improve at certain point this level of private market system. So ada 3 bahagian from that side. So last one, banyak kan? Okay. Okay. So back to the cerita kita sekarang. The last one will be basically to create a better Malaysia. The plan, say for agenda Aksara, kita punya aspiration is to start changing the whole set. Kalau tengok on the improve punya timing, estimated lebih kurang 30 minggu yang diperlukan untuk go daripada satu private company dia nak pergi kepada public listed. Nak lalu dekat bursa, nak lalu dekat KLSE. So estimated lebih kurang 30 minggu. From that 30 minggu kita expect kan. But the truth is this. Daripada awal private company tak boleh pergi public listed. So it has to be changed to pre-IPO first. You have to change daripada Siam Berhad, private company ni Siam Berhad. Dia kena tukar kepada Berhad dulu. So kadang-kadang ada orang yang dia kata tak apalah, aku dah ada satu Siam Berhad yang best. Okay, tak apalah, aku nak listed. No, you cannot do that. You have to start change it based to the format that bursa ada. So you kena tukar. When you start restructure, this is all the problem comes in because you start buat private company daripada awal, you nak buat benda tu sebab nak sendiri kaya, nak jadi jutawan, nak jadi billionaire. So apa you buat, you beli kereta besar, you beli kereta best, you govern you punya system dalam masa 3 tahun ke 5 tahun your ways. You tak pernah properly belajar pun. So the system is already damaged and structure wise dia dah start goyang tau. So what you need to do, you need to start change the format. Changing the format requires sometimes and requires some ingenuity and also some patience. For certain people, this thing basically gets me here. And kita fikir balik, okay, that's it. Cukup lah. So aku just nak kaya lagi lebih, change it to Berhad. But at the end of the day, susahnya, tediousnya, peningnya nak jadi Berhad ni. Dan apa yang kita buat, tak apalah. So kita akan dindong-dindong play from the private punya part, private company punya format kepada public punya company. This is where kat sini pun jadi problem. Masa ni lah segala jenis consultant, investment bankers and everyone yang ada, this is where all this jeru-jeru comes in. Okay, we can do this, but you have to pay us this much. We can do this, but we can do this much. We need to do this, but you need to pay us 1 million on this basis. Blah 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 blah. So that part needs to be addressed for us to improve. Sama juga bila you dah masuk kepada certain format, it will need some draft and audit for you to meet the bursa or stock exchange punya regulations. So banyakkan orang kita, kebanyakan business kat Malaysia ni, as much as diorang bagus dan gempak, diorang start juga dekat situ. So there's a second improvement punya room dekat sana juga. And then masuk dekat SEC round 1, masuk kena reject, salah buat, masuk lagi reject, pergi pada round 2, masuk lagi reject sampai round 3, kena reject sampai last sekali bila dah habis, dah buat round 3 dah habis, nak go for roadshow, masa tu pun ada masalah juga. Everything can go wrong on that part. So 30 minggu adalah sebenarnya tempoh yang tak logik, in a sense that dia tak berapa practical with the way Malaysian punya startups and Malaysian punya pre-IPO works. So because of this, we need to create a better public market punya ecosystem. The private company has to have the right mindset and skill set for them to change to better format. They have to be designed in a way that they can pass the draft and audit punya phase, and they are the owners of the business. So should be dia orang kena ada macam some sort of macam equanimity punya factors so that they know in the end of the day they can go to that basis. So this part dia ada 5 benda. So back to cerita kita sekarang, kita ada condition, this is our condition right now. Daripada 1 juta yang tadi tu 99.9% failure rate punya basis tadi tu, nak improve daripada 1,000 kepada 100,000 PFC, and later this will be our reality. So daripada tadi tu you change the whole set, you tukar the whole thing yang kita sebut untuk improvement tadi tu, you can definitely change Malaysia to be a better startup nation. So what makes us qualify to talk something about this? Agenda Aksara Berhad is basically a pre-IPO company. We are an organisation. We just kita adalah, the aspiration is to help nurture rather than kita tak cakap pasal you nak buat bisnes you tak payah bakar modal. You nak buat bisnes you tak benda ni tak susah. You buat bisnes benda ni alah orang-orang tak pandai pun boleh buat. No. We're talking about real business, real deal. We're talking about the right way to do business. One of the way for you to grow exponentially. So all the areas of improvement yang kita cakap before this, yang kita cakap semua tadi tu, we created our own system, our own ecosystem. Dalam kita yang boleh tengok sekarang ni, dalam this slide, kita create that ecosystem so that we can help rather than pointing fingers, this is all orang ni punya salah, this is orang punya salah. No, we created something for us to go and drive the economy our way. So you tengok kat situ, kalau tengok balik, this ecosystem is taken and inspired from a design of a grand orbit of a superior punya planet. So kat tengah-tengah, we have our own setup of private market exchange. We ought to create that part. Kita ada vehicle which we wanted to go for global conference. Kita ada ecosystem yang sekarang kita tengah build for fund infrastructures. Kita ada market intelligence punya companies. We are now go for aggressive M&A for us to get big data company to come on board. On the other hand, we have the first, we have Prakasa. If you see a lot of Prakasa punya point kat sana, where we create our own knowledge hub, a simplified version of a very complex, this complex method. Kita cuba nak simplify the whole set so that semua orang rasa they have better fighting chance. So we have Prakasa there, and kita pun sekarang dalam proses untuk come up with our own SaaS punya tool for just for the sake of nak naikkan the startup punya base, dan juga created this one vehicle called Nasihat. It's basically the corporate advisory punya services. So utilizing this basis, kita tengok tadi kat tengah-tengah, satu kat tengah-tengah yang dekat superior punya connectivity punya point tu tengah-tengah. So we got an app there. It's called it is an investment company. So what we did now, our take, we have already set our motion right. We have created, we have invest, and we have invest, and we have designed a few businesses that some people might say that it is sexy in a way that it was designed based on the capital mechanics principle, and we have created some tractions on that basis. Okay, guys, just to make things simple, Malaysia, as for Malaysians, we have the best land, we have the best soil, we have the best climate, and we have the best culture. Dengan sekeping tanah je, you boleh create thousands of opportunities coming from that side. So tadi, my friends, Faidz, Redza, dia tunjuk macam mana kita boleh buat. From daripada satu tanah, dia boleh jadi tanah, dia boleh jadi pertanian, dia boleh jadi pelancongan, dia boleh jadi inovasi. So my friend tadi, Khairul Azman, be talking about the best technology and how, dan Malaysia bayangkan kita ada berapa puluh ribu patent yang ada kat universities yang belum lagi kena tap. So this is all the gems of Malaysia. So we have also the best idea, and we do have the best people. Tadi Khairul Redzuan, Wawan, dia ada cerita pasal believe in youth and macam mana to create the best people, and kita tak kalah pun sebenarnya kalau tengok balik. I'm a bit patriotic dekat sini lah, in the sense that Malaysian, kalau tengok balik, kita antara negara dalam dunia yang paling ramai, antara negara yang paling ramai PhD, antara yang paling celik education. Dan Malaysia juga, if we can create the best infrastructure, so together combine these 6 factors, we can create the best version of Malaysia. With that, saya mengucapkan terima kasih and a very Assalamualaikum, and I'm open for any Q&A punya session. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Azdi. It was a great presentation. So yeah, I think there's one question for you. Let me find it back from Fikri Ashraf.
Okay.
The question: my team and I, Fabu Biotech Ventures, are currently doing biotech startup focusing on plant-based nutraceuticals and botanical drugs research and development and commercialization company.
Okay.
In order for us to access startup growth facilities such as funding, etc., what kind of accelerator incubator that you think company like us should get help or in touch with?
Okay, very good question. Sebab this is the part because kalau kita tengok balik dekat luar, dia ada banyak. Benda tu is benda tu the information is there, so you can go and find. So I think this is one of the most sought after question yang kebanyakan entrepreneurs nak cari, because you guys, as I know Fikri personally, and I know the partner personally. So up to certain point, I know how good they are doing their work. So what they really need, what they really need is someone who can really support them in a way that they need to prosper with the right way lah. So back to your question. Kat Malaysia currently kita ada beberapa incubators and accelerators, but in the end of the day you have to check whether do they have the same aspiration yang macam you nak buat tadi tau. Sebab kadang-kadang you kena faham certain incubators or maybe certain accelerators ni dia kena faham incubators ni diorang incubate, but you have to know that bila diorang masuk, bila diorang incubate dan diorang take an equity punya sort of payment tau. Dia akan ambil equity dekat situ and thinking that later diorang akan exit. So the business itself, yang business yang you nak buat tadi tu, it has to be investable and bankable in a way that benda tu boleh pergi jauh tau. So dia akan tengok juga you punya credibility and ability for you to sell the solution later. So kalau dekat Malaysia dia tak sama tau. I have few list of incubators that maybe can help, but for since you've been asking this in my session, I will basically get to you right after this. Sebab honestly speaking, Aksara is looking forward to be that. So nanti kita deal on that side. Aksara will be your incubator if you want. We can be your accelerator juga. Because kita tahu apa benda you mampu buat. Tak apalah kita tamak sikit, kita nak je lah. So tak apa, so I guess itu ke jawapan dia kot. So
alright, I think we have no more questions. Thank you, Azdi. Now let's move on with our next speaker. Our next speaker is our keynote speaker, Dr. Wong Shyan. He was the former CEO of CommerceNet Singapore, and currently he serves as the CEO of Fatanah Venture. His forte is in sophisticated financial modeling, business and also business modeling. He is also well known for aggressive merger and acquisition techniques and innovative financial engineering. He founded the Miracles of Capitals (MOC) course curriculum, which became the benchmark of top government officials training and high-end entrepreneurs pre-IPO training. So, please join me in welcoming Dr. Wong.
Testing, Mr. Chairman, boleh dengar?
Boleh.
Okay.
Let me.
Okay, you know, sampai semalam saya tak ada slide lagi tau. Everybody told me that, hey, Dr. Wong, you share. And then the other thing that I realized that you guys are also young. I'm the only old man. Then, if I share something, then the storyline beza dengan all the young people. So I also panic. Jadi this morning, after I see your slide, I immediately saya buat slide when you're talking. So this slide is baru masak, mungkin setengah masak. So must ask for apology kalau dia tak masak lah. Okay. So today I must thank the group because I was monitoring the group very, very closely. Firstly, semua volunteer kan, semua volunteer, and everybody, many people first time dia buat sharing. So I think you're done well lah. I also feel proud of you guys, berani juga. And tak ada budget pun, pinjam sini pinjam sana, also you guys come up and no time. Dalam 1 minggu aja you all whip up this whole group. I think this is a very good thing, and semalam I think you all have a practice kan. So I think that is the good thing. So congratulations to Mr. Chairman dengan all the panel presenter. When the question asked me to reimagine Malaysia, because I come from the old school and I come from the first .com era, and before that I come from Mahathir era. When I was in Form 6, the hottest topic that time was Malaysia Incorporated during my Form 6. Tetapi kertas am, Form 6 kertas am, kita nak tulis Malaysia Incorporated, apa kita tahu? Semua tak tahu, bantai aja. We just simply write aja, kertas am. Actually in hindsight, sekarang saya baru tahu apa itu Malaysia Incorporated, right? You see, this Prime Minister of Malaysia sangat pandai. He created the Malaysia Incorporated because he wanted to do a rapid growth in Malaysia. At the time, we are very much an agriculture nation. And when he created Malaysia Incorporated, he was looking everywhere for the model, from Margaret Thatcher's side, the private PPP, private-public partnership. Look east, how the Japan, the government and the private sector work together, and why? Soalan dia mengapa? So those days when we write kertas art with the bantai, we didn't never know. You see, when I was an architect, I was trained as an architect. We always wait for a call for proposal. When clients suruh buat proposal, wah happy lah ada call for proposal. So the whole world works on call of proposal. So you wait for what? Kerajaan nanti ada proposal, kita ambil. Kerajaan ada tender, kita pergi ambil. That is how we work now. But we all forget, this Prime Minister of Malaysia at the time, he wanted the private sector to initiate proposal. We call unsolicited proposal. Saya tak panggil pun, you come up with a proposal. You jumpa kerajaan. You propose a private-public partnership. That was the spirit. That was the semangat of Malaysia Incorporated. You propose lah highway. You propose lah apa-apa jua pun lah. You berani propose. And that was driving Malaysia. Right? So just I was listening to Khairil and also Khairul Azman. Both of them talking aspirations are penting. Not just go for incubator apa-apa tu. Masa itu, kalau kita tunggu kerajaan nak bagi contract, habislah tunggu sampai bila ni. So that time, suddenly the government allow a framework under Malaysia Incorporated di mana you nak propose. You look carefully in Malaysia sekarang kan. Semua pun proposal dari private sector. So this Prime Minister, I think that he was very, very unique. The time we never think that we can make a car lah. Betul-betul our mindset dah tak imagine we can make a car. Don't talk about drone lah, drone. Mungkin you think drone is easy. Drone susah tau. Line of sight tak ada, you nak fly susah sikit. Okay? But he make a car, he lease a car. Dia senaraikan di bursa. He make a bridge, he lease a bridge. He make a highway, he lease a highway. He take post office, lease a post office. Apa dia otak dia ni? This guy in the mind full of one thing ni. Mekanisme pasaran dan mekanisme modal. Okay? We call the capital mechanism. How we menjanakan modal, how we kembalikan modal. Of course, everybody was very happy. We do everything. Wow, this is not a modal. We can get the government endorse saja. Endorse cukup. You see people like Vincent Tan masa tu nak buat linear city atas Sungai Klang, sungai apa tu dah, longkang lah macam. And it's the longest building. Jadi mana ada lift? So what they do? You do a monorail. And the time, the biggest monorail was three, Bombardier, Hitachi, and who are the one? M-Trans. Now Skomila also get into financial trouble. Tetapi at the time, it actually identified the spirit. Kamu berani nak propose, berani lah propose. You tell me how. of course we are Malaysia, kita nak government bagi apa comfort letter. So what we do, kita propose airport, berani aja buat propose airport. Then after we do apa? So this framework for unsolicited proposal is very powerful. You can see Malaysia progress a lot from that incorporated. So today I was thinking, apalah topik dia dibagi saya 2.0. How to 2.0 sekarang? So I thought, okay lah, tak apalah 2.0 lah. So the first thing I thought 2.0 only one thing. Jangan focus on government. I was so happy all the young guys, they never read the comment. Kalau read comment at the beginning kan, wah sangat negatif the comment. Right? How your young guy can do it? Especially you guys are dependent on private sector. Okay? The young people, young energy, nak start something. How you can get this success? How you can get the money? How you can do berhad? All these are the thing you feel. You are going to feel when you come out. Right? Kita akan jumpa orang yang positif, orang yang negatif semua. So when you do 2.0, the first thing itu mindset. So I think that kita nak satu anjakan minda, okay? Anjakan minda yang sesuai untuk Malaysia, untuk generasi sekarang. Jadi kalau kita nak tahu anjakan minda yang kita nak buat, kita mesti lihat reality kita sekarang. What is Malaysia today? Okay, so I was thinking, apalah Malaysia ni? So I was thinking, nombor satu, minda yang pertama yang saya nak explore is called a Mosaic. Apa tu Mosaic? Apa Faidz ada his thinking, Khairil got his thinking, all your pirate lalu ini semua ada thinking dia. I don't need you to change. Bagi aja. Kita lekat-lekat. Kita buat gambar baru. We take a Mosaic. Okay, you have people, culture, belief, habit. Tak apalah, you bagi saja. I don't care. Okay, so the diverse Malaysia, one of the strength is the diversity lah. Saya rasa diversity kuat. Right? So if we can build on the diversity, the Mosaic model ni, I think this is one thing we can explore. Or some people think that we should become alloy. Alamak, kita akan melt everybody together. Okay, we'll melt everyone together, hoping that something come out akan lagi kuat. Now this one has one problem. We are going to make a homogeneous kan. Mungkin the alloy akan very brittle. Right? Too much carbon in the keluli. Nanti kita brittle pula. So I think this alloy thing, we have to dissolve and molten and create something. So firstly, sebab kita ada banyak belief, culture dan sebagainya, to make this one bukan senang. But a lot of politicians would like to do this one. So first of all, I think we have to see ourselves. How do we look at ourselves? In a way to understand Malaysian, I think we have to have a little bit of a sense of humor. I think sense of humor. And if we have the sense of humor, then we can actually relook the truth of Malaysia. Dulu ada seorang, which I like lah, because why? Firstly, he's from my school lah, okay. Then he from my near my kampung. Lat is one guy licensed to laugh at Malaysian lah. Dia boleh draw mata, he can laugh at us from all the angle. Tetapi we all take it in a very light-hearted way. Dia boleh buat perkara-perkara yang sensitif pun we will laugh at him. I think we must learn how to look at ourselves. What is our strength? What is our weaknesses? And we simplify complexity. Malaysia memang complex. Alamak, Malaysian is very good at making simple thing complex. Actually, we should be making things simple kan. Tetapi kita memang pandai buat perkara jadi kompleks. So first of all, I think in our mindset, Malaysia is not a map lah. Bukan kita lakar satu peta aja, this Malaysia. Malaysia, the reality. The map is actually a simplification of the reality. The map actually also tells us something. Firstly, the concept of Malaysia itself is actually a combination of originally when they form 4 kedaulatan, 4 sovereign. Satu kedaulatan is Malaya, satu lagi Sabah, satu lagi Sarawak, satu lagi Singapura. So we put 4 sovereign together, 4 kedaulatan together to make a federation, persekutuan. So we are making a federation out of 4 places. Jadi till today, ramai yang tak faham why Sabah is not like Kelantan. Why Sarawak is not like Perak. It is different. Dia memang berdaulat, dia the sovereign. I think in the peninsula, one of the strongest state yang berdaulat is actually Johor. That's why Johor have their own military, right? There's something. Now, then you put 4 kedaulatan together. You need to travel because sovereign mah. You must have passport. So those days, my time, kita satu passport untuk Malaysia tau. We call restricted passport. It's funny tau. In the same country, you travel, you need to have passport. Okay. Of course, Singapore left after 2 years. Okay, because kena buang. Then the balance, we need to have passport. So we call that passport to heart. Of course, we also use the passport to heart to go Singapore because we still keep intact the agreement, right? Yang kita buat. It was until Mahathir that we changed the passport to heart into my card. Okay, our IC to IC yang smart tu. Okay, but if you remove the passport, then essentially you're removing Sabah and Sarawak from the kedaulatan. So what did they do? Dia kena chop. Tapi my card tak boleh chop. So they put a piece of paper. You datang ke Sabah Sarawak, put a piece of paper, dia chop juga, chop the paper. You nak keluar, you show the paper. Kalau tidak, you show the passport. So that is the thing. So Malaysia is not so simple. Okay, dia bukan saja satu peta, but there's a lot of layers and layers of history. Dia macam bawang ni, right? Sometimes you peel, you also want to cry. That's Malaysia, right? And Malaysia, we need to have competent people. Tetapi kita versus incompetent pula. Dia competence jadi incompetent. Jadi kadang-kadang we have to understand when we want to do business in Malaysia, kita nak membina satu anjakan minda. We have to understand apa itu competence, apa itu incompetence. So sometimes our ego create a lot of blind spot, right? And Malaysian, kita bukan yang cari orang yang paling pandai to help us run our business. We find the most convenient. Siapa? My kakak. Siapa lagi? My adik ipar. Why? Because senang mata, payah bagi overtime pun boleh. So we find the most convenient guy to help us. Actually, by right, we should find the smartest guy. Come on, we raise fund from public. Kalau kita raise fund from public, isn't it better that we should find people smarter than us to do it? Right? And always understand, in Malaysia, tak ramai yang malis tau. Bukan berniat buruk, bukan berniat jahat. Usually, stupidity, kebodohan. Right? So in Malaysia, a lot of time we see some problem. It's not because people ada niat busuk ataupun niat buruk tu. A lot of time is because stupidity menjadi the solution. So we have to understand how we look at our people around us. Okay, so the model reminds us that Malaysian do make mistake. Memang kita buat mistake, but the niat dia tak buruk. It's just that we do not know, right? And inertia, when something is moving, it keep on moving. In Malaysia case, when things not moving, it will never move unless kena tekan. Okay, when we act upon. So sini memang banyak inertia. Nak tukar, okay, even today, to get all our entrepreneurs together, to get people to volunteer, to come out, it's not easy. To ask people to raise fund, to bagi dana, also not easy tau. Also got inertia. So these are the problems that we face. So hashtag inertia, not only movement, to move the hand to the dompet, to take up buang also not easy. So we have to understand these are the kind of condition we are living in, the mindset. So another mindset we have to go is velocity. Laju saja tak guna. Hal laju. Apa tu hal laju? Kelajuan dengan hala tuju. Right? Moving itself, velocity is not equivalent to speed. Speed tak guna. Itu kelajuan. Velocity is hal laju. Hal laju means has one more vector. Apa tu vector? Hala tuju kita. But many of us, we are busy with kelajuan. Memang laju. But sometimes you move one step forward, 2 steps backward. Buat apa? So we are always wasting energy and resources. So for that reason, I like some of the concept that was presented that we have to have a hala tuju. Otherwise, this is tak ada daya labo ni. It's not bankable. So it is very important for us to build companies that has a sense of direction. Now, a lot of us do not know leverage. So when we do fundraising, it is a bad ability to lever, okay, so that we can take on the work. If you do not do leveraging, okay, you cannot create satu thing that is very important. It's called the valuation. So in leveraging, we must know how to use step on someone else what they have built on. Jangan reinvent the wheel. right? People have remembered the wheel is bulat. You want to remember the wheel that's segi 4 apa, right? Use the wheel, improve on it, okay? Make something else and do it. So we know that we can apply this model so that we can build the global market. So some guy give us the framework. Dulu there was this prime minister, when he fly to any place, he didn't bring politician, he bring businessmen with him, right? His idea of Malaysia Incorporated was like that. So in other words, we should hunt as a pack, not as a lone wolf. Hunt as a pack, so you can actually protect each other and move. So if Malaysians want to hunt as a pack, we must understand how to do. Malaysia is one of the most open countries in terms of visa and also for entry, right? That was before COVID lah. After COVID, I still think it will be the same. So in other words, if you talk about OIC countries, okay, negara-negara Islam, organisasi Islam, so OIC countries, Malaysia is one of the most open economy. Why can't we actually leverage on that? In ASEAN, we have tarif yang special, and we have TPP lagi. Now is tukar nama and we also have APEC. So why can't we leverage on all this? We can have tremendous access. Mengapa hanya look at our small little market in Malaysia, right? And we can enter market that China can never attack India market, Malaysia boleh. India can never attack China market, Malaysia boleh. Okay, and we have Indonesia nearby us. 3 of the most populous states is around us. Mengapa? Why we didn't do anything? In 6-hour radius, kita always measure by kapal terbang ni. Dalam 6 jam, okay, we have how many? We have billions of people, right, around our 6-hour radius. Okay, I think close to 2 billion people in a 6-hour radius. Mengapa we never do that? So we should leverage on that. And pemangkin, catalyst. Sometimes we are very, very stubborn. Sometimes we just need a little bit of maybe pemangkin or the catalyst. It will start the whole chemical reaction. But it is always this by ourselves, we are not reactant. Kita ni tak ada pemangkin. But sometimes with a little bit of push, we can get tremendous firepower. Jadi our social system, we have a lot of similar traits. In Malaysia, kalau kita boleh nampak dengan jelas apa kemampuan ataupun daya upaya, okay, or the potensi kita, I think that is very important, right? So we should kickstart that. Cooperation. We always talk about competition. Sebenarnya yang paling penting is cooperation ataupun kalau tak boleh competition. Apa tu competition? Orang tua macam saya suka Coca-Cola. Orang muda lebih suka kepada Pepsi Cola. Okay, show of hand. Who among you is like me, orang tua? Coca-Cola, the original taste. Can you raise a hand? Use raise a hand. Okay, who among you lebih suka generasi muda? Pepsi Cola. Now, do you think this is competition? But a more elegant solution is that Coca-Cola, my one. Pepsi Cola, my one juga. What if I own Coca-Cola and Pepsi Cola? So I let them cooperate and compete. Now, we forget in Malaysia, we can both cooperate and also compete. So we call co-opetition, right? Co-opetition. So maybe we should build strategy like that, especially startup. Kalau kita nak menang, I think we should have this type of mindset. So the mindset is very important because the way we look at a whole thing, equilibrium, you can never get it your way. I can never get my way. We should find that equilibrium. Okay, so we will find that balance. So this is very important in our whole life. We have to find that balance, right? And if we can understand, many of us, we are stuck as a bottleneck. And we complain, tak ada wang lah. You think the money is a bottleneck? Bukan. Actually, our bottleneck is our brain. Now, you think that you have money, you can solve all the problem? No. Ramai didn't realize that money is neutral. Okay? Dana itu neutral, modal itu neutral. If you lose money, I pump money to you, it's going to magnifying glass, magnify your losing money. You must know how to make money. I pump the money to you, then you can make money. Many of us do not know how to make money. right? And it's a mindset that's bottleneck. It's our attitude that's bottleneck. So kita kena lihat, kadang-kadang, maybe are we the bottleneck? You think that you are the hero. No lah, you are the bottleneck. Siapa yang bottleneck? Boss. The boss is the bottleneck. That's the worst thing that can happen. Betul tak? Now we need to know the global and local ataupun local maxima, so that we can look at the peak performance of any range. Okay, the local maxima. Right? Why? Because we need to understand where we are now. Naik ke turun. So we have to remind ourselves sometimes we have to go down for us to go up. Janganlah up. Kadang-kadang mesti ada down. Right? So when you're down, eat what? Go makan. Go mamak shop there. Right? Eat nasi lemak. Mungkin you feel better. Right? Because why? We need sugar input. Right? So, and kadang-kadang we have to dismantle barang-barang tu. Macam saya ni, I'm very good at dismantling car engine tau. But I'm not good at putting it back lah. Yeah. So I'm very good at destruction lah. Tak ada creative. I cannot create. I can dismantle tapi cannot put back. So it is important for us that we have this creative destruction. Sometimes we have to relook at that. So today is very good. We are trying to relook into what the young people see in Malaysia and how we can deconstruct. Deconstruct, then we reconstruct. So deconstructivist, we deconstruct sampai element dia. Ini adalah element dia. Then how we put them back together, we can understand that. So the creative one-upmanship, you do well, I do better. Sangat-sangat penting. So many of us, if we want to have this whole mindset to build something, I think University of Malaysia Pahang is going to build a new Silicon Valley. But the thing is not about government want to do something. The thing is about you guys, macam lalu ini, all this pirate. You guys want to do something that is important. Not the government top down. Selagi top down, tak ada dana, habis. Tak ada, we have no budget. So always wait for peruntukan. No peruntukan, habis. How can? It is people like you, young people, what you want to do, right? And I like the entire ecosystem that you want to build. So again, so we have to understand what we are building, right? When I was in the undergraduate, saya nak tulis satu dissertation on bribery in Singapore now. Okay, how bribery, okay, or corruption is and its role in the construction industry. You know what? The UC ban tak berani bagi saya topik ini. So this means my dissertation kena rejected sebab too sensitive. Apalah sensitive? Then I end up doing construction in China, doing construction in Pakistan, in Jordan, in Saudi Arabia, in Mauritius, in South Africa. Come on, man. Tiap-tiap hari kita jumpa perkara ini. Sampai Malaysia pun ini ada, right? So look, we all worry about this whole thing. That's the reason why we created something like SIG. Okay, it is something that we have to face up to, right? Sometimes you, look that side lah, kau team you, right? So these are real thing, the mental. Ini sudah masuk dalam otak dia tau. And one of the equation for us is that supply and demand. Everything is scarcity. And because scarcity, we are usually very selfish. Okay, what about abundance? We are always fighting for limited resources, limited energy, limited peruntukan, limited budget, limited wang. So it is something which you understand that it is because of this supply and demand, we must find the equilibrium, right? So in practical life, it should be dynamic, changing, never static. You think that you have been doing this whole thing for so many years, that's why you are very good. No, I write curriculum for university. After you graduate, 6 months after you graduate, what you learn is obsolete. I can guarantee you obsolete. For that reason, we should thank Mr. Google. Knowledge is free. Dunia sekarang, knowledge memang percuma. Okay, it's a wisdom that's expensive. Tetapi apa yang kita hendak, anjakan minda, is to find that unconventional wisdom. Hashtag unconventional wisdom. That is the one that we want. We are paying a premium, right, for unconventional wisdom. Knowledge siapa hendak, tak hendak pun, I think anybody with a mobile phone can get knowledge. That's why we are open book exam. Betul tak? In university, we open book exam. Scarcity, alamak, because of this thing, we become selfish. Okay, sometimes we show all the bad thing. Now, in the game theory, they always describe this whole thing. Human beings are generally selfish. Now, one of the very important thing is that what if we collaborate? If we collaborate, the result will be different. So what I like about this group of young people, I'm seeing the whole group collaborate. I mean, why would young people spend a weekend having meeting, right? Throwing idea and get condemned by the idea. Ramai juga yang kena condemn, right? But then again, the scarcity is not just about resources. Scarcity of idea. Yang paling teruk, tak ada idea. You think that money is a problem. I tell you, money is not a problem. Tak ada orang bakar wang pun. The people didn't destroy money. The bank cannot don't lend you money. Okay? The problem is that is your project bankable? Is your project good enough? There is more money than good projects. My biggest problem is find good projects. Setahun jumpa 2-3 projek aja. Jumpa 400 orang. Satu hari saya jumpa berapa orang. Right? So every week we can see so many companies. One week can see about 8 companies sometimes, 10 companies sometimes. Okay? And yet we can find 3 to 4 good projects a year. Yang mana lebih kurang? Wang kurang ke ataupun projek yang kurang? Once in a blue moon, you find a very good entrepreneur, red dot, tapi idea tak bagus. Tak apa. Kita labur pada orang. Okay? Why? Good people scarce. Scarcity. Orang. Good people very, very scarce. Okay. Now, resources are not scarce. We can janakan. We can create. We can actually raise fund. Because good projects, fund go after good projects. Okay, dana dia kejar, modal dia kejar apa, projek yang bagus. So a lot of people, we always say no money, no money. First of all, I give you 2 million, apa you nak buat? But with 2 million, so you don't know what to do, I tell you. Right? Okay. Then trust. This one very scarce lah. Trust usually is something that we want to build. Hey, actually, Malaysian, we are more trusting, right? Siapa yang tak trusting, yang kena gigit lah. Those who get bite a lot of time lah, yang kena gigit banyak kali, dia tak trust, right? So it is about trust, and we need to have trust. It's funny thing, the whole world have changed now. Anjakan minda kita sudah bertukar. Last time we want our family to say, hey, you're good, man. Khairul Ikram, you're good. Okay, Khairul Azman, you're good. We want to win, okay, the kind of praise. Today, apa kita nak? We want to have many like. What you care this like by a stranger? Like this stranger ni, orang yang kamu tak kenal pun, you suka dia like, apa? Right? So I think we have to move a circle of 5 very good friends, 12 very supportive circle. Cukup. 5 kawan yang baik, sangat baik. Apa kawan baik? Khairul I have no money boleh pinjam 200,000. Dia tak ada pun dia cari untuk kamu. That's called good friend lah. But these are people trust you, right? So these are the one that we want, right? And alamak, bias from incentive. So a lot of us move because of incentive, right? And because of incentive, you color your thing. Your whole agenda is based on incentive. Come on, man. Mungkin we should do things unconditional. We should do things yang bukan saja hanya untuk keuntungan, right? So that's very important. Now, if you believe your product is good, right? You know, the other day, I was invited to do a lecture in a developing country. So they asked me how much lecture fee. I said 10 cents. 1 baht lah, 1 baht, 10 cents. Huh? I said, betul. The other day, there was another organizer asked me to do a training for a group of entrepreneurs in Taiwan. He asked me, how much is the fee? I said, you dengar dulu lah. After you dengar, you pay whatever you want to pay. Huh? How to market like that? I said, you collect what you want to collect. If they don't pay, then like that. Then same lah. Today also we talk for free. Why some people free, some people not free? So again, I think you should not be driven by profit. Then India called me, hey, Dr. Wong, should I pay a speaker fee? I say, you want to pay? Can. Find a charity, you just pay the charity lah. Apa yang you nak bayar, you bayar charity tu lah. See, I think it's time for us to understand, you should not be driven by pure incentive. Tapi saya pun incentive juga. Why? I'm looking for companies that can go IPO. Because that one lagi penting. I'm looking for deal flow. But then again, we should not do things without that. And please don't be denial mode. Okay? And some people are forever in that denial mode. Cannot lah, saya tak boleh lah. We cannot do it one lah, without government support. Okay? Hey, kamu, are you sure you cannot? Ada tak salah pun, saya tak salah, denial mode juga. So sometimes we have to learn to see ourselves. Okay? Look at our Don't pretend that Malaysia don't have COVID problem. Don't pretend Malaysia don't have drug problem. Don't pretend to think that you have no financial problem. Don't pretend to think that you have no knowledge shortage. So we should start to beat ourselves from denial mode. But a lot of human beings, including entrepreneurs, they are in the denial mode. Okay, so there's something that we should understand. And things must be fair, and we should be sensitive to fairness. Hey, in your company also, don't say company, like in your family also lah. You cannot treat your son fair, your daughter not fair, right? And not only you fair in your heart, I know you are fair, but you must be seen to be fair. Okay, so it is very important. So people wants to have justice. Apalah abah ni tak fair lah. Untuk ini dia dapat ini, saya tak dapat. Mengapa dia dapat ice cream, saya tak ada ice cream? Right. So again, I think fairness itself seems to be a moving target. Why? You should tell him, Adam, I need dapat ice cream sebab dikurus, kamu gemuk ni. Okay, maybe sometimes you have to rationalize. Okay, so look at what is unfair. Slavery was unfair, but yet, right, at the time we think normal. So a lot of times the social concept, dia tukar, right, and unicorn mindset. Now the government want to make next 5 years, we have to create 5 unicorn. Come on, you have to be unicorn. First of all, your mindset kena tukar dulu. Okay, so that's why I said the mental model kena tukar. But mental model a lot to do with us. Do we understand ourselves? So unicorn apa tu? Ini bukan jagung ni. That one is called corn. Okay, satu jagung is not unicorn. Right? There's dua jagung is called twin tower. So unicorn is an animal with one horn, legendary. So Eileen Lee, she's actually called it a company that with more than 1 billion paid up before when they start, right? Before they go IPO. So this is very important. So, but see, the unicorn mindset is that you must believe it's unicorn dulu. If you think tak boleh, before you start, just like I see, maybe that you don't think that you can do a public company. So maybe you don't think that you think you can succeed you are so young. Come on, man. Mark Zuckerberg, no experience. 24 years old. Succeed juga. Who said that old man? Now I got so many old men, my generation, 60-70 years old, still struggling to make ends meet. Rumah pun belum beli lagi. Nothing to do with age now. Nothing to do with experience. Nowadays, young people's mind, hey, let me ask you, you think that old people smarter or young people smarter? When they are young that time, apa you tahu? Look, the young people sekarang, 5 years old, 4 years old, apa pun dia tahu. My time, computer button on kat mana saya pun tak tahu. Right? During my time when I was young boy. So again, don't measure people by your experience. You can have a lot of experience, but all the wrong experience. So again, let the young one be free. So in the world of unicorn, it is your mindset. Perkara yang tak pernah berlaku. If you do something that people berlaku already, don't ever want to invest lah. If you cannot do things better than someone else, don't do it. You do something, do it better than someone else. Hashtag, you do something better than someone else. Okay, what is your core competency? What's your unique selling point? What's your value proposition? Okay, that will actually bring me to one problem. Malaysian mental model sangat-sangat penting. So they act as a mosaic. Hey, how I can change these people? Semua ada one piece. The mindset like that, including the bias mindset. So what do? I accept. I am sensitive. I accept. Saya ambil dia, kekurangan dia saya tak lihat. Kebaikan dia 20% saya ambil. Yang ini kebaikan dia 17% ambil. Wah, ini kebaikan 40% ambil semua. Right? Tapi kita ambil tu, ada kekurangan dia, he has his own weakness, he has his own shortfall ataupun shortcoming. Kita ambil juga. Because in the mosaic, I just want that piece that can make my picture. So that is how we look in Malaysia. Okay? And for that, with this mindset, we can build that unicorn. So in conclusion, I think the new Malaysia 2.0, a lot depends on us, including me, to accept the mindset of the young people. Right? Here we have all these young people, you are so smart, you are daring. Macam drone ini, saya tak pernah pun control satu drone sampai hari ini. Saya photography club president tau. Tak pernah saya ambil satu kamera dari drone. Teruk lah. So I'm becoming obsolete. But one thing I know, I must invest in people with aspiration, smarter than me, so that they can make money for me. So with that, happy Malaysia Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Wong. That was a very great talk. Now I'm opening the floor for Q&A with Dr. Wong. Sorry, my chat is missing. Wait. Okay. Just one question from Afiq. Yeah, he's asking after the unicorn, what is the next level after unicorn?
Alah, dia tu dekat corner. Kita tengok how big your belakang berapa zero nak. Kita ada corn lah. Tapi saya sweet corn.
Tapi the highest one, what do they call it rather than unicorn? The highest one, the top 1 cent, I think.
Kalau sekarang, if you do $1 trillion, you lah. So I also don't know. You know, I've been doing investment so much. Yang paling saya sedih, satu unicorn pun saya tak pernah buat.
Okay, understand. Tak apa, ada masuk lagi ni masa ke depan. Thank you, Doktor.
Malam ni nampak hari ni nampak dalam screen banyak potential unicorn. Jangan bagi saya sweet corn sudah.
Thank you, Doktor.
Khairul, Redzuan, jangan, you must move lah.
Alright, thank you.
Next question from Alchan. How to eradicate corruption, bribery to increase efficiency or productivity of the nation?
Okay, win them over to be a shareholder. No one wants to be corrupt. Betul tak? Buat semua orang pun nak, right? So, kita jual saham murah untuk mereka yang boleh jadi smart money kan. Kita dah jual saham kepada dia, murah juga. Right? But not more murah than your purchase price. Supaya you can understand that it is correct. So for that reason, you can have a shares yang dibekukan. Okay, so always deploy shares yang dibekukan. I think no manusia like to be corrupt kalau boleh. A lot of them terhimpit.
All right, next question. Okay, is there anybody?
Okay, Faidz, use my style. Call name.
Okay, first I will call Khairul Ikram.
Okay, Khairul Ikram. What strikes you?
What strikes you?
First of all, there is one question by Ras. Why are there many unicorns in tiny island of Singapore as compared to Malaysia?
Apa tu? Unicorn ya?
Why Singapore have many than Malaysia?
Okay lah. Firstly to list in Singapore senang tau. Memang senang. Dulu my time my era, imagine saya 30 juta boleh list tau. 30 million market cap tau. Bukan profit, market cap. Katakanlah P ratio 30, we make 1 million, we have list already. That's why we can have all this old chunky semua kita boleh buat, right? Sekarang 80 juta, you can list in Singapore, right? Second thing, Singapore, they have too much money. Betul. Right? Because all the money from Indonesia is parked in Singapore. All the money from China, bukan orang biasa tau. Pemimpin punya wang, banyak yang park di Singapore. And the money dia tak boleh parking. Right? Parking lama kena saman. Dia kena melabur dalam projek yang baik. So the problem is that where to find so many project? So it is actually Malaysia has one thing strong. Because I'm an incubator in Singapore. Malaysia has more deal flow than Singapore. Okay, what's deal flow? Kita kena lihat sama ada kita ada projek atau tak ada projek. So Muiza, right? Rodato Imam is a project. Dia pun satu projek is a deal flow, right? Kalau tak ada projek, tak boleh labur, right? So the biggest problem in electronic crowdfunding in Malaysia, you tanya aja, betul-betul tanya. What's the biggest problem? Tak cukup deal flow. Lesen sudah dapat, sudah bayar 5 juta kepada kerajaan. Nak untung balik susah sebab tak cukup deal flow, right? Now, where will the people raise fund? ECF, because they don't actually cultivate the investor. Jadi ramai antara kita ni, we raise fund from Triple F, Friends, Family and Food. Dan all the early stage institutional kan. And yet many of us, before we try, we say that tak ada orang labor. Right? Siapa kata tak ada orang labor? Hari tu one guy asked me, tak ada orang labor. I asked him, have you ever talked to PNB? Tak pernah. Talk to Tabang Haji? Tak pernah. LTAT? Tak pernah. Teraju also? Tak pernah. Come on man. You know why? Saya takut lah. Saya takut. Alamak takut. Dia ni vegetarian, tak makan orang. Apalah you takut? So a lot of people, they are not sure. Jadi apa dia hendak? Dia nak vitamin pill, ni bukan vitamin, confidence pill. Dia nak pill confidence cukup. Right? Itu aja. Right? Muizzah, have you tried to go to Tabung Haji? The problem is that when Tabung Haji want to labor, your company tak sesuai, struktur salah. Okay? Share dilution tak buat. FRM tak ada. Hala 7 tak tahu ke mana. So that is a problem. So that's the reason why just now they were talking about, what should we do? There's a Khairil, your project sangat bagus, right? You should build an ecosystem to bring them somewhere, right? Okay. Like Hafiz, my tutor, MT, MIT.
Right, Dr. Wong. What struck me, yes, good. I think good afternoon to all, right? What struck me yang today, ialah Malaysia Day. Dr. Wong explain about incubator, dan saya personally, kami di MIT pun dapat merasai the incubator process. Memang betul kita break the wall. Asalnya saya hanya one company tuition yang yes hit the 5 million punya revenue, but yalah as a SME kita ingat dah cukup besar lah tu kan, kita ambil niche market tuition and then 5 million kan, kita rasa kita okay. But again dengan apa yang Dr. Wong sampaikan pada kami, train kami, incubate kami, kena break the wall. So kena fikir apa lagi besar daripada tuition lagi, yang selama ni kita fikir besar. So take month yang untuk kami memikirkan, belum cukup besar lagi. Uish, dah besar kan? Belum cukup besar lagi. Bila kami fikir kat Malaysia, Dr. Wong dah fikir Indonesia. Bila kami fikir Indonesia, Dr. Wong dah fikir OIC. Okay, that's how hitting lah. So again, so that's why I come out dengan the idea of Mighty EduTech Berhad. And then yes, untuk along the way ni perlu ada advisor lah. Kadang-kadang kita, itulah tadi saya nampak ada hashtag shock sendiri, betul tu. Itu mendalam tu, hashtag shock sendiri. Kita always as a SME, shock sendiri, kita ingat sales dah okay, kita ingat profit dah okay, kita tengok yalah everything dah okay, but sebenarnya kita underestimate our potential. Kita boleh grow bigger dengan apa yang tu. Dan of course Dr. Wong, we all this team lah, I think maybe akan ada few future unicorn under Malaysia punya company under this team. Alright, that's all.
Mr. Chairman, mungkin kita dengar Khairil. Khairil dia memang satu chain yang penting dalam all these things. Khairil?
Azdi?
What strikes me in the sense that banyak orang, kalau when we have conversation outside, my normal conversation is saya nak jadi orang kaya. They said they wanted nak jadi orang kaya dah. So bila nak jadi orang kaya tu, dia orang punya tanya balik, jadi kaya macam mana? Aku nak beli tanah, aku nak ada rumah 10 biji banglo, and I need to have my own wisma with my nama. That is the normal answers yang orang akan cakap. And then happens to be over banyak point. This is basically the some sort of Hollywood American dream yang semua orang dekat Malaysia rasa. So this is basically the thing yang kena buat. So jadi kita pun rasa macam one day aku pun nak membesar. Aku rasa macam I think on my side I want to be a businessman so that I can be a billionaire, so that I can build Ferrari, nak build Lamborghini. I nak ada bangunan dengan nama I sendiri, you know, with that kind of mentality and mindset. So you make more money for you to spend more money. And then the way we work sekarang ni pun, the way I understand, is more towards, okay, aku nak jadi macam orang tu lah, orang tu kaya sebab orang tu baru beli Porsche. Aku nak jadi orang tu lah, you know, because I wanted to be billionaires. But the truth is, most of us doesn't understand that the whole idea of the whole idea of wealth creation and also the setup of business design, it is all started from satu point, a mental model punya point. Whereby in Malaysia, we can create even the best world-class facilities. We have seen a lot of incubation punya center besar. I mean, we talk not to mention any names, but kita ada besar. But the truth is, Malaysians are mentally ready. Do we have the right mental model and do we have the right mindset for us to go and try? So this, for me, on my side, what strikes me on dalam this particular setup, the more that we need to create and the movement that we need to move, that set in motion is basically there's a new and better way for us to work, and we need to work on that so we can create a better Malaysia on that side. So that is from me lah.
Mr. Chairman, maybe may I invite Hishamuddin Kabaruddin?
Yes. Okay, can please.
Terima kasih. Alhamdulillah. What strikes me today is about Malaysian mindset, and we have to accept the young generation ataupun semua orang punya pemikiran. Sebab sebelum ni saya pun terfikir yang kita stuck dekat banyak benda sebab kita tak okey dengan orang tu punya pemikiran, orang ni punya pemikiran. Tapi saya tengok apa yang Dr. Wong cakap tadi tu, saya teringat pada satu individu yang pada saya seorang yang baik lah, iaitu Abid Liu atau Ustaz Abid Liu, yang mana kebaikan dia tu menjadikan Malaysia unite. Banyak perkara baik yang dia buat, menjadikan dia tak dilihat sebagai seorang individu yang ada agenda untuk perkara-perkara tertentu. Tapi once dia nak tolong, dia punya agenda tu lebih besar kepada banyak kaum dan sebagainya. So sebenarnya kalau kita relate balik kepada perniagaan ataupun keusahawanan, kita ambil macam Dr. Wong tadi cakap, kalau seorang tu ada satu kebaikan tu kita accept. Mana yang positif semua kita accept, dan kita akan nampak secara mosaic tadi tu. Mosaic tadi tu walaupun dia daripada piece yang sikit-sikit, tapi kalau kita susun dia akan jadi cantik. So Malaysia akan jadi cantik dengan pemikiran mosaic seperti mana yang Dr. Wong katakan tadi. Terima kasih.
Mungkin kita ada dari seorang wanita pula, Nurun Kamila. Nurun, tolong share sikit.
Hai, boleh dengar ke?
Boleh.
Basically apa yang saya dapat kat sini, kita selalu kalau macam buat bisnes kan macam kita fokus kat profit. Tapi kat sini kita dah nampak dah hala tuju yang jauh semua. So macam semua possible. So macam yeah, that's what I'm getting from here today.
Okay, Nash Idrus ada. Nash, are you there? Nash Idrus?
Yes, Doctor. So for me, what strikes me today, sorry, my hair is a bit all over the place. That's why like handsome right now. So what strikes me today is this whole spirit of the rebuilding and reimagining Malaysia. I think it's a very powerful session. I just want to say congratulations to the team that celebrated this event. It's very sangat bersempena dengan the spirit. I really feel that we should build kita punya own economy. If macam Dr. Wong shared about Malaysia Inc. If we all have that same mindset, that how Tun Mahathir had that mindset, kenapa kita tak boleh buat bersama-sama? So yeah, so that's what strikes me. So we hope to see us bringing this together, because I rasa macam geram juga. I mean, this is my personal experience. I feel like if we have new, ini nak cakap Malaysia ni, if new people take on the whole Malaysian landscape, even the political and economic punya landscape kan, with new mindset. Wouldn't it be great? A bit like Finland, for example. So yeah, that's what I think. And yeah, thank you very much for doing this, guys. Congrats. Thank you, Doctor.
Dr. Wong, before I want to ask you one question from Fikri. But then before that, I would like to share something on benchmark lah. For those who are not familiar with what we are presenting today, especially on the IPO, bankable. So basically, we have a course called benchmark. This is thanks to the man behind of all this, Mr. Khairul Ikram Shukri. So he have developed a course on bench. We call it as benchmark. So basically, it is what we call it. It shows how everything is by design. So people times method, you will get the results. So billionaire. So basically, you will set the billionaire mindset, and assuming everything is possible. So people is equal to perspective, and then they will teach you the method, which is growth is by design. So what you aspire. So just for a short while, I mean, this is something which is Dr. Wong will always show in his training. So this is how a linear growth graph of a company. Basically, a company growth by its by using its what you call it its revenue. So and then this is exponential growth using the capital mechanism. So comparing linear growth and exponential growth in the same time of period, basically the linear growth we only can build 10. I mean, we can expand into a 10 companies or 10 branch. While for exponential growth, they can build up to the 512 growth. So we have benchmark trading course by invitation only. The normal price usually we charge it at 2,500, but for this session, which we are offering to those who are attending this session, we are giving a grant of 2,250. So you only have to pay 250 ringgit. All right, for those who are interested for this benchmark, please get in touch with one of the pirates which I have presented today, and they will show you how you should register. Okay. Actually, I am very interested with Fikri question to Dr. Wong, but I would like to hear it from Dr. Wong's mouth himself answer this. Dr. Wong, you're such an inspiration to all of us. But before you pass away, what kind of legacy you wanted to leave behind? Yeah. Yeah, I would like to hear this from you.
I've been involved in so many IPO, and setiap kali pun tak sampai unicorn, konsultan datang, they go this thing, tak besar. But I really want to build a global unicorn. But actually, my legacy is to build a macam Sequoia Capital, macam JP Morgan too. That's the reason why we are building about in 9 territories. Okay, one in China, one in this Taiwan, right? One in Japan, one in Indonesia, one in the ASEAN is Singapore, Malaysia. There's satu lagi di Vietnam, right? Then in South Africa, one in Poland for Europe, and one more I probably will want to do in India. Jadi this is where we are building all the institution.
Okay. Okay, Russ, I'm exploring the potential of creating angel investing ecosystem in Malaysia. Is it possible? I'm from Singapore. Maybe Khairul Ikram later you will direct message with Russ, yeah? So any more questions? I don't think so. I think, yeah, we can, I mean, this is the end of the event. It was a very great event today from the speakers, a lot of input. A lot of what you call it, strikes for me especially. So thank you everybody. Thank you especially for Dr. Wong as a keynote speaker today, and thank you for those who have been spending the morning of a public holiday with us. So yep, thank you all. For the PowerPoints, we will share it in the WhatsApp group. For those who are interested to get a copy of the PowerPoints, you can get it from us. Thank you all. Assalamualaikum and a very good day.
Mr. Chairperson, tak ada sesi tangkap gambar?
No, you. Everybody dah left lah, Azdi. Tuan?
Kalau tahu tadi dah buang makeup dah.
Okay, we have a short, a quick photo snap. Everybody, I hope you can turn on your camera. Okay, I'll take the picture. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, next page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right.
Nice tengah seksi tu.
All right.
Tak mandi lagi sebelumnya. Teruk betul lah. Dengar korang ni. Okay.
All right, thank you everybody. Next, the WhatsApp group. Yeah, I'll share in the.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you everybody.
Congrats guys. Okay.
Bye.
Terima kasih semua. Selamat Hari Malaysia.
Saya rasa amat berbahasa hati Cik Yani masuk. Orang kuat marketing tu.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks for the session. Interesting topics. You know, lot to learn, lot to improve. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you
bye-bye,
all.
bye-bye.
Thank you, organizer.
Bye-bye semua.
Thank you to the speaker. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you. I'm ending the meeting around. Okay. Right. Bye.
Bye.